Flamethrowers on the pitch here at Stamford Bridge. Flags are flying on the touchline as the two teams make their way out onto the pitch for what has always been a massive game. Chelsea taking on Liverpool, as you know, already underway on the Talksport app. Leicester 0, Villa 0. Already underway also on the Talksport app. Bournemouth 0, Brighton 0. Already underway on Talksport 2, Leeds 0, Forest 0. And we've got even more live exclusive Premier League football here on Talksport. Look on a map for a place halfway between crisis and crossroads. That's where you'll find Chelsea and Liverpool. They meet here tonight at Stamford Bridge. Your commentary team is the former England captain Stuart Pearce alongside Sam Matterface.
Thank you, Adrian. Good evening, everyone. Last season, it was these two who have a rivalry born out of frequency that met in two different cup finals. This season, the only silverware they're going to be lifting is the posh knives and forks at the end of season dinners. There's a lot of fancy trinkets that have been bought around here, but there's not much silver service. No ground has seen fewer goals in the Premier League this season than stingy Stamford Bridge. Chelsea are 11th with 10 to play. Jurgen Klopp scoffed at the suggestion that they could make the top four when he said on Talksport on Saturday, you play a football match like that. They've won 2 of their 10 away games in 2023, and Liverpool arrive at the Bridge of size without a clue of what Chelsea they're going to face tonight. Graham Potter couldn't manage a ridiculously bloated squad, bulging with promise and potential, but lacking consistency of selection and riddled by indecision. Now Bruno's in charge, a man who revealed yesterday he's never picked a team in his life. Well, he must have been like a kid in a sweet shop over the last 24 hours, because he had more options than most to choose from. He's made 2 changes from Saturday's game against Aston Villa. Mason Mount, Raheem Sterling and Mykhailo Mudryk still on the bench. But Wesley Fofana is back in the team. Kepa is their goalkeeper. Fofana, Koulibaly and Cucurella the back 3. Crucially in midfield, Conte returns and wears the captain's armband. He's joined by Reece James in his rightful position at right wing back. Enzo Fernandez, Kovacic and Ben Chilwell. João Felix and Kai Havertz are up top. For Liverpool, who have lost their last 3 games but have never lost 4 in a row under Jurgen Klopp, they make 6 changes from the trip to Manchester City. Alisson is their goalkeeper. Gomez, Konate, Matip and Tsimikas are the back 4. Henderson, Fabinho and Jones in midfield. Nunez, Firmino and Jota are up top. We will keep you in touch with the relegation 6-pointer at Ellen Road, which is live on Talksport 2, and the games at Bournemouth and Leicester. But we're in West London, where the mighty have fallen, and Chelsea and Liverpool are trying to stay relevant in this compelling Premier League season. The best matches are only on the Talksport network, and there's been a goal on Talksport 2 for Talksport's Ian Danta.
Pulls it back to the edge of the area. Mangala takes a touch and scores for Forest. Such calmness from Ora Mangala.
Yes, 1-0 to Nottingham Forest away from home. Traditionally not very good on the road, Nottingham Forest. It's only the 5th goal they've scored all season on their travels. Leeds, who started the day 1 point behind Forest, are behind. Leeds 0, Nottingham Forest 1 on Talksport 2. That continues with Ian Danta and Neil Redfern. Here we're underway live on Talksport with me, Sam Matterface, and Stuart Pearce. And Liverpool were vulnerable in the full-back areas on Saturday, Stuart, both of them, and they've changed them up tonight. How will Chelsea attack them?
Well, Chelsea have adopted this wing-back situation, so they won't be faced with out-and-out wingers, so I think that will help them in that respect. I'm just looking at Chelsea as well. We've come here time and time again this season, and the fans have turned around and said, well, we've not got James, we've not got Chilwell, Fofana's out, no Kante. Well, they're all here tonight, aren't they? So certainly no excuses.
Yeah, all here tonight, and Reece James' swashbuckling run down the right-hand side has already generated a free kick for Chelsea over on the far side. Chelsea shooting from right to left in the first half. in blue shirts, blue shorts and white socks. And Liverpool defending the goal in front of their supporters in the shed end, shooting from left to right, all decked in red. Here is the free kick, wide on the far side, 3 yards in from the touchline. James to take it. His delivery is good in towards the near post. Alisson comes and punches ahead of Fofana, who was attacking it. And then Curtis Jones plays it out towards the far side, and it's cleared away by Liverpool up towards Darwin Núñez. And there goes N'Golo Kanté. Back in the team and back to patrol and protect that Chelsea defence.
Just looking at the front line for Liverpool there, they've got Núñez playing on the left-hand side, Firmino down the middle and Jota on the right. Just lacking a little bit of pace, I think, in behind. The Liverpool front line of old, if you like, with Salah, they've got so much pace to go in behind. A bit short of that, certainly in the right and central areas.
Well, Darwin Núñez is certainly pretty speedy. He was clocked as the fastest player in the Premier League in the first half of the season at 36.53 kilometres per hour on the opening day away at Fulham.
Impressive, my friend. Maybe he likes it down in West London then.
Yeah, maybe it's because they've got so many of those electric scooters. He's been charged up at one of the points before he's come in. Here is Matip over the halfway line, playing it down the right channel, and he's given it straight to Cucurella, who had a very difficult evening against Aston Villa. Chelsea have given the ball back again. Koulibaly has given it straight back to Liverpool's Firmino, and then Henderson on the right edge of the penalty area tees it up for Gomez, who crosses into the box, header away but only as far as Jones. Jota appeared to be pushed by Fofana, and then Núñez gets it towards the left, and Jones, who played for the England under-21s in the international break, and he's trying to keep Liverpool on the offensive. That's a poor ball by Tsimikas. He's given it straight to Havertz, and now Chelsea gets a counter-attack. And it's played forward by James into Felix, who gallops forward. He runs at Matip. He goes past him easily and then comes back on his right foot. Doesn't manage to connect with it. It drops out of the sky and it just hits Havertz and bobbles behind and away for a goal kick. I mean, that was a comedy of errors from Liverpool at the back and Chelsea summing up their problems in front of goal.
Well, Felix has done brilliant there. He's driven with a ball from just inside the opposition's half all the way. He's got Matip where he wanted him in the box. He's cut it back on his left foot, and instead of taking the shot with his left foot, which he should have done, where the goal was open, he's cut it back on his right foot and give Matip the opportunity to get a block in.
Well, he's only scored one goal in his last 8 club appearances, João Felix. He started the year in terrific form for both Atletico Madrid and for Chelsea once moving, but stifled by that suspension. And all of a sudden, he found himself in a great position 4 minutes into this game to put Chelsea in front, but decided he wanted to go on his stronger right foot, and that angle wasn't open to him because Matip was still in close proximity. Here is Darwin Núñez over on the far side, back infield to Henderson. Henderson tees it up over on the far touchline for Tsimikas, and then Tsimikas manages to drift the ball back towards the halfway line, and Konate up to Fabinho, round the corner to Jones. Jones being pursued by Reece James, who's dyed his hair like Enzo Fernandez is. It's forward by Conte and then on by Kovacic, out to João Felix in the centre waiting. Kovacic is arriving, goes round the goalkeeper. Can he finish? No, he can't. And it goes back towards the right-hand side, and Havertz. Chelsea have missed another great opportunity. Enzo Fernandez picks it up on the edge of the 18-yard box, gives it to Darwin Núñez. He powers forward over the halfway line. He's burning rubber as he steams into the Chelsea half. 3 of them surround him. He eventually goes down under the pressure. The referee says play on, Anthony Taylor, and it goes through to Kepa Arrizabalaga. Another big chance. Kovacic, who's not great in front of goal, he admits that himself, but he has scored 3 goals in 5 games for club and country recently, and he really should have scored another, Stuart Pearce.
He should have done. I think once he's gone past the goalie, and once again the Liverpool backline very, very fragmented, and once he's gone past the goalie, I thought he was going to slot it with his right foot. He's taken an extra touch after that, and credit to Konate, he managed to get back and get the block on the goal line.
That's 2 big chances for Chelsea inside 6 minutes.
It certainly is. As I say, both teams sort of playing a very open, expansive game.
Is that the benefit of these 2 teams being pretty poor this season? The fact that there is almost nothing to play for, but there's something to play for, and as a result of that, there's a bit of freedom.
Well, I think when you get two sort of heavyweights of the Premier League going head-to-head, it's always a big game, no matter where they are in the league. But so much has gone on and so much has been talked around these two teams, and they're underachieving this year. It's added to a fantastic spectacle already.
Yep, Chelsea can go back into the top half of the table if they manage a victory here above Fulham with a win. Liverpool will be interested in a Brighton result down at Bournemouth, because they can go into 6 if things go well for them. If things go badly for them, they could end the night nuzzled up next to Chelsea in 9th position. It's currently Bournemouth 0, Brighton 0 after 20 minutes. Leeds 0, Nottingham Forest 1 on Talksport 2. Leicester 0, Aston Villa 0 on the Talksport app, and Chelsea 0, Liverpool 0. They're the latest scorelines for the Premier League. All of them available for you. Full commentary on the Talksport app. Just download it, go to live games, and you'll be able to hear it. Poor clearance by Koulibaly, who tries to get the ball out towards the far side. Nunez recycles it, travels down the left side of the penalty area, gets to the byline, then chops it back for Tsimikas, whose cross is steered away by Koulibaly. And then Liverpool look to build from the midpoint of the Chelsea half, because it's come through to Fabinho from Jones, and then back towards the right, and now Gomez, who taps it into the path of Henderson. Henderson patrolling in midfield. Kovacic goes to engage, and Chelsea just keeping Liverpool at arm's bay at this moment in time. Gomez steps over the ball, cuts in past Chilwell, runs into traffic, overhits his pass to Konate, and it goes into the Liverpool half of the field. So we'll go off to Ellen Road. Over on Talksport 2, there's been another goal, and this is how it sounded with Ian Danta.
Rocker tries a drive. Good save by Navas. Harrison on the rebound. Drives it home. And Leeds United level it up.
1-1 between Leeds and Nottingham Forest in the bottom of the table basement battle on Talksport 2. Already 2 goals, 21 minutes gone there, and what a start to the match that is. Just ask your smart speaker, by the way, to play Talksport 2 if you want to listen to it. Jack Harrison, who's been in good form recently, actually, he's looked like he's going to score a goal, and he has got on the score sheet again tonight. 20 minutes gone when he levelled things up. Here it's 0-0, but Chelsea have had 2 great chances to get in front, and Fabinho has just wired into Enzo Fernandez. Fabinho's a clever little so-and-so, isn't he? He did this on Saturday. He spends the first 15-20 minutes wiring into everybody, making sure he avoids a booking, then calms down for the next hour.
You're better off doing it that way. The clever players calm down, once they've been booked. Take my word for that.
Which one were you? The clever one?
I'd like to think. Well, no, maybe not.
I'm just so happy that you made it all the way here today. I know you took public transport specifically now because you've got your special rail card, which you were flashing around earlier on today.
I have, yes. My senior rail card has arrived, which I was quite happy to take a third off the train travel. You know how tight I am.
I knew you would be. He'll be going on trains everywhere from now on, that's for sure. Here the ball is on the halfway line with Havertz. He's tucked it back into Kovacic's path, but that was a poor pass, and Firmino tries to knit together a bit of Liverpool possession. They're coming forward over on the left-hand side. 10 minutes gone, 0-0. You're listening to Talksport. Not 0-0 in the game at the King Power Stadium. Jeff Peters.
It's Leicester City 0, Aston Villa 1. Ollie Watkins on his 100th Premier League appearance, racing forward, steered the ball beyond Everson. It's his 11th goal of the season. He's scored in 6 successive away games. Villa lead Leicester 1-0.
João Felix thought he should have had a free kick here, but Chelsea gave the ball away. Referee Anthony Taylor wanted to play on. Konate came forward, ran into Cucurella, and then Enzo Fernandez tries to spray it out to the far side looking for Havertz. A long raking ball which is cut out by Tsimikas, and Liverpool got it back again on halfway. Big goal that, down at the bottom of the table. Leicester starting the night in the bottom 3, second bottom of the table, losing at home to Aston Villa. And Ollie Watkins, 6 out of 6 on his travels. That's a particularly good return. And his upturn in performances, I think, coming about after the clarity that he's the number 1 striker. Unai Emery selling Danny Ings, and that meant that all of the goal-scoring pressure fell on Watkins, but I think he quite likes that. Here's Jota shifting the ball to the left. Liverpool got an overload out there. Tsimikas with the cross in towards the far post. Kepa Arrizabalaga comes out and claims ahead of Jota and Firmino and runs to the edge of the penalty area. 10 minutes played, Talksport. It's 0-0 between Chelsea and Liverpool.
I'm just looking at Liverpool here. They're 2-on-2 with Chelsea on the halfway line. Liverpool have gone and pressed. The goalie's got the ball in his hands. Just toss it up here. A 2-on-2 fight. You would take that all day.
I mean, there's high lines, and then there's playing two defenders, and that's what Liverpool were doing in that situation, with Tsimikas and Gomez right up high up the pitch. Chelsea have switched the play out to the right, and Reece James is coming forward. His low cross is missed by Havertz, who skips over the ball. He needed to hold on to it there and try and do something in the box with it. He went over the ball and it was cleared away by Matip, and Chelsea have to build again. You can see why these two teams have got potential, but you can also see where the pitfalls are for them. Chilwell getting in round the back, down the left-hand side, low ball in towards Havertz, hits it against Alisson, who makes a big save.
Well, it's a situation, Sam. Every time Chelsea get a reasonably decent attack on, they're very close to scoring. That's 3 times now that they've had the opportunity to score. Goalkeeper's made a brilliant save, by the way.
Well, he's got down right at the feet of Havertz. Havertz steered it straight against him. I mean, I think when Chelsea look back at the 3 chances that they've had so far, they'll think after 12 minutes they should be 3-0 up.
There's almost a mentality with Liverpool that's saying, listen, we're going to have to go out and get 2 or 3 goals because we're going to concede 2 or 3 potentially.
Well, Liverpool, who haven't been in the top 4 all season, started the season badly, and it's got worse for them. They've got a worse record on the road than both Leicester and Southampton. They've taken 4 points from a possible 21 away from home in 2023. Last season they only lost twice on their travels in the Premier League. This season they averaged 0.86 points per game on the road, their worst away form in 30 years. Here's João Felix pushing the ball forward into Kovacic and then trying to get it back again, but Kovacic is too hefty with the pass. It goes out of play on this near side. So down to the Vitality Stadium, where there's been a goal for Talksport's Alex Crook.
And it's a goal for the visitors. Bournemouth 0, Brighton 1. The teenager Evan Ferguson back in the side, back with a bang. Matoma with a low cross from the left, and this is a cheeky backheel finish into the bottom corner. Bournemouth 0, Champions League chasing, Brighton 1.
Always goals at the Vitality Stadium. Brighton unbeaten in 6 on the road, and 1-0 up down at Bournemouth with a goal from Evan Ferguson, who seems to have been a real find in this second half of the season. Ball out on the far side with Liverpool in possession, and it's Darwin Núñez, the Uruguayan, who had a cut on his foot, so didn't start against City, back in the team today against Chelsea. 6 changes for Liverpool. They've changed almost their entire back 4. The only one that stayed from the weekend was Konate. Van Dijk's ill, not available. The 2 fullbacks sent to the bench. Joel Matip has come in alongside Konate. There's been a change in midfield. Jones has come in alongside Henderson and Fabinho. Harvey Elliott's given the night off on his 20th birthday. And it's all change in attack as well, with Jota, Firmino and Núñez.
We covered the game at the weekend, and Liverpool continually try to play out from the back and gambled with the ball a little bit. And to be honest with you, there's a better option going a little bit further forward and maybe over the top of the opposition's back line. But, wow, they've done it. Here we go again.
Yeah, and he's being pressed, Fabinho, as he tries to play out by João Felix. Chelsea didn't quite get that press perfect and didn't win the ball back, but there will be opportunities that come their way as a result of that. You can see it already. We were at the game last night between Everton and Tottenham didn't learn their lesson. They continually gave the ball away from those situations. Straight ball down the middle of the pitch. Chelsea were almost caught out there. Fofana was napping, and Koulibaly had to step in front of Firmino. Conte's won the ball back in front of Jones. He's battling with him. It's come through to Havertz inside opposition territory. Play on, says the referee, after he was fouled by Fabinho. Out to the left it goes, and Chilwell. Chelsea coming forward once again. Chelsea, who know that their season in the Premier League is probably going to end with disappointment, but have still got the Champions League to play for. Although we were hearing earlier on that Chelsea aren't going to be rushed into making an appointment. I did hear that they wanted to get one done as quick as possible, and Nagelsmann would be their first choice, but we will see what happens in the fullness of time. There's a bit of a tangle in terms of contract with Bayern Munich. He's only on gardening leave from them, so they'll have to thrash out a deal before they can even think about getting him into the dugout, if that's what ends up happening.
I don't want to sound old-fashioned here, but I'm going to go back to the Brian Clough days. He used to say, give it to somebody who can play. And once you've given it to them, he doesn't expect that ball to go back. And in Chelsea's case, don't give it back to Koulibaly.
Yeah, because he's now isolated because the ball is coming back at the toes of Jota, and it's 3-on-3, and Liverpool moving towards the edge of the penalty area, and Nunez tries to send it infield, cut out by Conte, and Enzo Fernandez and James bring the ball away. James, lovely little skip past two challenges and moves out to the far side. He beats Tsimikas easily there. He runs into the Liverpool half of the field, then sends it centrally to Enzo Fernandez. Fernandez infield to Kovacic, and Chelsea at the moment have created the best opportunities in this game. They've had 3 gilt-edged chances. Kovacic went round the goalkeeper. Felix had the chance, and a good chance for Havertz, saved by Alisson. Here's Chilwell down the left into the path of Kovacic. A return into João Felix, and Felix tries a shot off the back of Fabinho, and it goes cannoning away into the midpoint of the Liverpool half. But Enzo Fernandez has won it back cheaply and then given it away cheaply, and Liverpool have got it back again. Scrappy.
It certainly is. It comes from turning the ball over in your own final third, and all of a sudden you think you've got to make a series of short passes, and you're gambling with the ball on occasion.
It's currently Chelsea 0, Liverpool 0. You're listening to Talksport with Car Finance 24/7. Search Car Finance 24/7 today. 2 big goals at the bottom of the National League. Gateshead 2, Yeovil 0. Yeovil find themselves in the relegation zone with defeat tonight. Both those two fighting to stay in the National League. Elsewhere this evening, we know about goals up and down the country at the Vitality Stadium, where Bournemouth are behind at home to Brighton. Brighton leading through Ferguson's goal after 28 minutes, a cheeky back heel. Mongala put Nottingham Forest in front at Ellen Road before Leeds equalised through Jack Harrison after 20 minutes. That's on TalkSport 2. On the TalkSport app, Leicester 0, Aston Villa 1. Ollie Watkins with his 6th goal in 6 away games. And here it's goalless between Chelsea and Liverpool, live on TalkSport. And Liverpool have the ball deep inside their own half. Konate encouraged to travel through the middle of the pitch with it. A long ball up to Darwin Nunez. Kepa Arrizabalaga has come out of his goal. He's given it to Henderson. Henderson shot towards the empty net, which Arrizabalaga had vacated, but luckily Koulibaly got back into position. Enzo Fernandez and Kovacic help win it back in midfield for Chelsea. Chilwell floats it forward. Fernandez comes forward, but it hits him on the back of the head and goes out on this near side. I mean, it's an interesting match, isn't it?
It's a brilliant game. As I say, on that occasion, Liverpool just got it. They tossed a ball through the Chelsea backline in behind, and Nunez's pace is a real threat to anybody.
Well, Alexander-Arnold and Robertson had a real trouble on Saturday lunchtime when they played Manchester City. Chelsea, Chilwell and James have got brilliant outlets on the flanks, but so often it's been Gomez and Tsimikas getting up into Chelsea's territory and leaving Konate and Matip a little bit exposed, and Chelsea have managed to break on them a couple of times and created 3 good chances. They're trying to create another one here. João Felix looping the ball over the top of the Liverpool defence, and out comes Alisson towards the near side. Gomez hits it into the air. It drops on the halfway line. Koulibaly with a header. Chested down by Havertz, not strong enough to hold on to it, and it's away by Liverpool. Firmino's very good at holding on to it, plays it forward to Jota, turns it round the corner for Henderson, who's joined the attack. Right side, first time cross towards the far post, headed away by Fofana. It's Jones who's going to get there. Oh, he hesitated, then slipped, and as a result of that, Enzo Fernandez then took it, and Tsimikas dived in with a challenge, and Chelsea have won a free kick 6 yards outside their own box. 0-0.
Yeah, good early attack there by Liverpool. Ended up with Henderson on the right. He's whipped it in, and once it's been cleared, Jones has come onto it. He shouldn't really be breaking stride. Come onto it and have a shot. He got in 2 minds and just basically fell over.
Yeah, started as a false 9 for the under-21s and scored in the 4-0 win over France recently. He's a slick passer of the ball, but his last goal was over a year ago for Liverpool anyway. Graham Potter's reign as the Chelsea boss was the shortest permanent manager in Chelsea's history, but he had the worst record of any Chelsea manager in the Premier League, the worst win percentage of any gaffer since the 90s, and Chelsea have scored fewer goals at this stage of a season than at any point in the last 99 years. But they've had enough chances to win the game on Saturday and had enough chances to get in front and then some in this match.
I was thinking before the game, do you think that Chelsea's big problem this year is the fact that they've not got an out-and-out recognised Drogba-esque centre-forward?
It's definitely one of them. And look, they bought in Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang in the summer, and even if he's not the answer, the long-term or even medium-term solution, you would have expected them to try and get him into the team to finish off some of the chances. Let's go off to Leicester. There's been another goal for Jeff Peters.
It's Leicester 1, Villa 1. Harvey Barnes has scored it. Long ball from Fass over the left back. Over the right back. Ashley Young. Barnes into the area. Right footed. Curled it beyond Martinez. Far corner. 10th league goal of the season. Leicester 1, Villa 1.
You do wonder sometimes how Leicester City are in the position they are with Maddison and Barnes in that team. I know that it's not just about the two creative players, but they are brilliant players.
Well, that's a fair statement, but you probably say that for a lot of teams. How West Ham are in the position they are with X, Y and Z player and various other players.
There's still, 9 teams in a relegation battle going into Easter. Chelsea are doing their best to try and join them, by the way, over the last couple of weeks. They're on the halfway line and defending Liverpool, who have got a good record against Chelsea. In fact, the last couple of games actually have finished goalless between these two. So don't get too excited about goalmouth activity. But Liverpool seem to try and grind out results down here at Stamford Bridge. It's been a long time since Chelsea beat them here, that's for sure. Here is Konate, infield to Fabinho. Fabinho inside the centre circle. Into the middle of the park, and Firmino tries a shot from distance. It's half cleared by Chelsea. Then N'Golo Kanté, well, he took the mick out of Jones there, nodded it beyond him and then ran onto his own pass. He sent Havertz down the right side, moves towards the edge of the penalty area. Havertz floats across into the box. João Felix heads it on. Kovacic is encouraged to challenge for it. Across goes Gomez, who puts it out, and it's away for a corner down in front of us, away to our left-hand side. Chelsea 0, Liverpool 0. 22 and a half minutes played live on Talksport with Sam Matterface and Stuart Pearce.
Well, there's no doubt that both teams are showing an aptitude to want to concede goals. Chelsea probably showing more presence to actually score one.
Here is the corner to be taken by Ben Chilwell. Chelsea putting big bodies in the box, including the likes of Havertz and Koulibaly and Fofana. It's aimed towards Havertz, who's headed towards the far post. He's touched away from goal by Enzo Fernandez. Comes back to Reece James, who volleys it in from the edge of the 18-yard box, but the offside flag is up. I think there was a Chelsea player in the eye line of Alisson, and it's going to be chalked out as a result of that. It was some finish.
It was a brilliant finish. Come out to the edge of the box, and he's just unloaded a shot that I don't think Alisson even got set before it has passed him.
There will be a VAR check here just to see whether or not that was the case. The offside being checked by the VAR back at Stockley Park. And Chris Kavanagh just reviewing the monitors just to make sure. We did have a very lengthy offside check the other day. Went on for a very long time. And we're having another lengthy one here. Enzo Fernandez looks like he was in the eye line of the goalkeeper. But VAR definitely checking it. And checking the disallowed goal for offside as a result of that. So we're waiting for information. It gives me the opportunity to tell you the scores elsewhere up and down the country tonight, with Brighton leading away at Bournemouth. Leeds 1, Nottingham Forest 1, Leicester 1, Aston Villa 1. And we think it's Chelsea 0, Liverpool 0 here. But the fact that they're taking so much time, we haven't got the monitors to see a replay of that incident, means that there is something that they're not entirely sure about, Stuart Pearce.
Yeah, it amazes me how long it actually does take for Stockley to come up with a decision.
Finding the rule book, isn't it? Leafing through it, looking at all the caveats, and it's Law 12, paragraph subsection 7. There's every chance that you've got to find out whether or not there is a potential for offside. There might be a situation here where Chelsea get a goal in the middle of a drinks break. Well, it's the middle of Ramadan. The goal has been disallowed. Yes, it has. It's the middle of Ramadan, and there's some Muslim players that need to break their fast. So a lot of them are coming over towards the near touchline. We had this last night as well, because they can't take on any food until sunset. Although I was informed yesterday that the sunset was just before 8 o'clock, and there's still players that ended up taking on food and fuel during this period. I think it's because at the time that they can break the fast, they're warming up or whatever, they haven't got the opportunity to get enough food on, so they're doing that now. And I'm not entirely sure whether or not the crowd know that. And N'Golo Kanté is one of those who has been fasting and needs to take on the requisite energy. And we have a delay as a result of it.
Yeah. To be fair, the referee was probably wise just at the start of the check, just to send the players over if there was a natural break coming. But
well, it's Chelsea 0, Liverpool 0. The goal was disallowed on Talksport with Now Sports. And don't forget that with Now Sports, you can stream the Sky Sports action like Chelsea Liverpool live right now for $11.99. No contract. Search Now Sports. Brighton are only 4 points off fourth with 2 games in hand over Tottenham. And that goal from Evan Ferguson could be a really big one tonight. And that is massive. Absolutely massive. That's as it stands at this moment in time. Liverpool going up into 7th at this moment in time, but Brentford play tomorrow night. And Manchester United, and that game is live on Talksport. All the midweek games this week are live on Talksport. And we pour over all the action for you in the morning when you wake up with Laura Woods. Gabby Agbonlahor on the show with her and Ali McCoy tomorrow morning from 6 o'clock. Here come Liverpool as the game restarts. Firmino up towards the right side. Henderson tries to square it into the centre. It took a deflection. Kanté is there to stop Jones from getting clean contact. And then it's mopped up by Henderson. And once again, Liverpool come on the offensive. Down the left they go. Into the path of Nunez, who swings a pass into the air. It drops under the floodlights into the feet of the languid-looking Joel Matip. Very tall and very lean. He sends the ball into Gomez's path, and he tries to tease it down the right channel, but Jota had made a dart in field, and it just dribbles behind and away for a goal kick away to our right. 0-0.
Yeah, I'm looking at this. I think if Liverpool are going to get something out of the game, it's going to become from that man Nunez with his pace. I think if Liverpool start getting cute and start playing the balls in behind Hurley for him, they've got every chance. Chelsea getting so much room to play. If I was Felix, I wouldn't bother getting in a defensive shape. I'd get as high as I can and isolate one of the centre-backs for the counter-attack.
And Chelsea struggled so much in front of goal under Graham Potter and have struggled here tonight to convert their chances. Here's Kanté picking the ball up and charging forward now. Havertz wants it played to the left. He's got it on the edge of the penalty area. A left-footed shot, which is so far wide, it goes through the 6-yard box and out the other side. It's 7 or 8 yards wide of the upright, and he was free in the 18-yard box on his own and unchallenged.
There were so many things wrong with that attack if you're talking about a purist point of view. Firstly, Matip's position. Havertz has run off of him and he's got himself twisted around, turning the wrong way, letting Havertz go. And then when Havertz has got the other side of him, he's took a shot on, which he should never have done. And he pulled it so badly, it was incredible. And that's probably where both teams are at the moment, aren't they?
Well, I mean, Chelsea, failing to score in 9 of the 22 games under Graham Potter, offside flag has gone up, and only scored 9 goals in the last 12 Premier League games. The underlying numbers also suggest that performances were also below par. Chelsea had the 4th lowest XG per shot in the Premier League under Potter, meaning that the shots that they did take tended to be of low quality. That was certainly one of those. They also had the highest passes to shot ratio, suggesting they struggled to break teams down when dominating possession. They've had chances in this game, 4 absolute crackers, and they've hardly hit the target. It's been pretty woeful in front of goal from Chelsea, despite the fact that they've looked the more dangerous team.
Yeah, what I would say though is I think they'll get more chances as the game goes on.
Yeah, but they need them, don't they?
Well,
0-0. You're listening to Talk Sport. Chelsea 0, Liverpool 0. Liverpool have also had problems scoring on the travels. They've failed to score in 6 of their 14 away games so far this campaign. Here is Henderson sliding the ball down the right side of the Liverpool attack. Ben Chilwell steps out, nudges it out of play on this near side, and it goes out for a throw-in to Liverpool, who have possession once again, 7 or 8 yards inside opposition territory. They cut it back to the halfway line now, and Matip, Konate and then wide to Tsimikas, who scored the winning penalty in the shootout in the FA Cup final between these two last season. He's being pursued by Reece James, and almost James turned the ball over there.
I'll tell you what, he was very fortunate there. He managed to just get enough on it to divert it to Matip, but he's got caught on the ball, and Liverpool, if you've got a lack of confidence in your group, the best thing to do is make sure the ball spends more time in the opposition's last third than your own.
Matip out on the right, looking for Gomez, who's in a right-wing position. Hands go up for offside, referee plays on. Koulibaly comes out to engage with Darwin Nunez. It's out for a throw-in, down by the corner flag, away to our right, in the front of the Matthew Harding stand that Chelsea are defending, away to our right. Joe Gomez to take the throw-in. 0-0 the score on Talksport. Brighton leading away at Bournemouth. Leicester 1, Aston Villa 1, and Bournemouth, and 1-1 between Leeds and Nottingham Forest. Koulibaly clears up towards Havertz. Again, doesn't manage to hold on to the ball. He's got pressure from Matip, and Liverpool get it back again on the halfway line. Here's Firmino. Infield to Gomez, stretching and helping the ball on, but Fernandes picks it up for Chelsea. Conte, sensible pass into Kovacic. Wide now they come, just over the halfway line, into Chilwell with his long sleeve blue shirt on, and a lovely little ball round the corner for Havertz, but Matip read that this time and then tried to keep it in, and I think maybe, did it go out of play? Now Anthony Taylor's overawed his assistant on this near side. Oh, hold on. Which way did it go, fella? I think it went out over on this side. I don't think it went out. No, you said no. OK. Should we just give a Liverpool? All right, yeah, let's do that.
No, they've got it right. He's got it right, and credit to the referee. Made the wrong call, checked out with his linesman, and rectified his decision. Well done to him.
Throw in from Gomez on this near side. Down the touchline it goes to Firmino. And then it's Fernandes to pick it up and give it back to Koulibaly. And then Kepa Arrizabalaga distributes the ball out to the far side. He's asking a bit of Wesley Fofana. I don't know what Tsimikas was doing coming out of his slot there, though. Here's James picking the ball up. He's left the gap now, Tsimikas. Chelsea switch the play to the other side and look to try and capitalise, although João Felix's pass is about as precise as Kai Havertz finished about 2 minutes ago, and it goes out of play, down in front of us rather easily, and it's away for a Liverpool throw. 0-0.
Sam, if I thought we would expect something different from the game, I'll be surprised. This is probably exactly what we thought, probably littered with semi-mistakes in the game, options at both ends, because teams are not defending great, I wouldn't say. Obviously, Chelsea having the lion's share of that situation. But it's a brilliant spectacle.
I must admit, it was a high-quality game when these two met in the FA Cup final, wasn't it? And that seems a long time ago now. Half-time at Leicester. Here's Jeff Peters.
It's Leicester 1, Villa 1. Ollie Watkins with his 8th goal in 10 games, latching on to Buendia's pass, guiding the ball beyond the goalkeeper. Villa looked in control. Leicester level when Harvey Barnes collected a fast long ball and swept it into the far corner. It's Leicester 1, Villa 1.
Don't get irate, whatever you do. Goal on Talksport 2 for Ian Danta.
Sinistera down that far left-hand side, level with the edge of the area, looking to take on Williams once again. A couple of step-overs, moves into the area, tries to get on his right foot, gets the shot away, and Sinistera has turned it around. What a massive goal for Leeds United.
Leeds United lead by 2-1 against Nottingham Forest. It's okay.
It's all right. Thanks for that. You're just massaging me, aren't you? Yeah. You know.
It's 45 minutes to go yet, Stu.
Okay, they'll bounce back.
Yeah, there's lots of things can happen in 45 minutes. Ball chipped forward by Fernandes. Reece James is running down that right touchline. Havertz is putting pressure on Alisson, and he's got the ball off Alisson. He's teed it back up to James, well, sort of, and then Fabinho's come across and got in front of him and half cleared it. And it was a bit of chaos inside the Liverpool penalty area. Once again, indecision by Alisson this time after a back pass by Tsimikas. And Chelsea once more couldn't take advantage, Stuart Pearce.
I'll tell you what, at both ends, some really, really poor play. I mean, let's take the Chelsea one there. Koulibaly's run back, got on the ball and hit it so hard at Kepa just then. He's made the goalie panic a little bit, and at this end the goalie, it's so many mistakes in the game, it's incredible. Even little things like Konate's run down the touchline to deal with a situation with James. He's ended up getting injured or semi-injured in turning the ball over. He turns it over and gives it to a teammate, Jones. As he's limping away, what does Jones do with no one around him? Gives it back to Konate and says, you're limping, so deal with the ball. Wow,
Time at Wolverhampton Wanderers. After Wolves, what? Hey, they're not playing tonight, are they? Bournemouth. Let's go to the Vitality Stadium. That's where Alex Crook is. We'll get there in just a second because João Felix has just picked the ball up in the centre circle. He's played it out towards the right-hand side. It's collected by Reece James and then into Felix, who's tried to scoop the ball past João Matip. João Matip has managed to just about get his body in the way, and it's cleared by Kostas Tsimikas up over the halfway line. Nunez trying to deal with Wesley Fofana, cuts infield, turns, holds the ball up, then goes on the outside of Fofana. Fofana trying to stick with him, prods it out of play. So let's go down to the Vitality Stadium and hear what's happened to the Bournemouth Wolves against Brighton. Alex Crook.
It's Bournemouth 0, Brighton 1. Evan Ferguson with the only goal on 28 minutes. An audacious back heel into the corner from Karu Matoma's testing low cross. Bournemouth have had chances and should be level. Hamed Traore played him one-on-one by Jefferson Lerma and he poked it wide. How big a miss could that be? Bournemouth 0, Brighton 1.
Well, it is Chelsea 0, Liverpool 0 here on Talksport. And for all the latest odds, you can head to Ladbrokes. You can back Chelsea to win at 6-5, back Liverpool to win at 12-5. You can back the draw at 2-1. All thanks to Ladbrokes. Ladbrokes.com, 18 plus, begambleaware.org. This is Talksport. Here is Koulibaly. And he combines with Chilwell. Back to Koulibaly once again. He sends the ball down the left side, straight to Gomez. I'm a bit worried about Stuart Pearce's neck because he keeps shaking his head so much. Jota trying to get beyond Koulibaly, stretching to get it away was Fofana, and then N'Golo Kanté just knits the play together on the far side. N'Golo Kanté playing tonight at Stamford Bridge in only his third home game of the season, for which all three games have been under different managers.
That must be some sort of record, surely.
Nothing says the Premier League like that. Not at this moment in time. There's a collision down in front of us. Fabinho again wiring into a tackle and gets away with it again. Still no bookings and a chance for Chelsea to build once more. Liverpool haven't offered much going forward in this match so far. Chelsea have had the chances but not taken them. James coming down the right. It's towards the near post looking for Havertz. A stretch or push away by Konate, but only as far as Enzo Fernandez. Chilwell, who was Chelsea's probably best attacking outlet on Saturday, gets the ball and sends it back to Fernandez. Kovacic holds off Henderson, and in the centre circle Koulibaly will start again. Fofana into Enzo Fernandez. Back to Fofana once more. Koulibaly playing as the anchor man in that back three. Drifts the ball out towards the right-hand side, but the radar's off. The accuracy's poor, and it's given straight to a Liverpool shirt. Nunez charges up after halfway, and then James holds him off, and then shepherds him back into opposition territory. Talksport live on a Tuesday night, and we're at Stamford Bridge under the lights in West London. It's been a beautiful spring day here. In fact, it was a lovely spring day in Manchester when I woke up this morning. It was a lovely crisp morning, bright blue sky. It was as I landed here. And we'll be back in Manchester tomorrow to bring you Manchester United against Brentford on Talksport. And then we'll be there on Saturday for game day as well, when we bring you another live offering from the most exciting league in the world. Here the ball is with Jordan Henderson, clipping it out towards the left-hand side. It's high, looking for Nunez. That allowed him to be rushed by Fofana because he took too long to get it out. Wesley Fofana then went on a swashbuckling run down the right-hand side. Chelsea didn't use him, and now he's got to get all the way back because their move down the left has petered out pretty quickly. Cucurella trying to win the ball in between Jota and Firmino. Enzo Fernandez, Havertz, now N'Golo Kanté strides up into the midpoint of the Liverpool half, lays it off to Reece James. He's on the angle of the penalty area, floats the ball in towards the near post. It's away by Matip, back out to James, and then Chelsea will start again. 40 minutes on the clock, 0-0. Ball sent forward towards Havertz, tries to chest it down, seemed to get in Chilwell's way. Didn't have any control of the ball, it's cleared away, but Liverpool have given it back to Chelsea once more. And now it's with Fernandez, 10 yards outside the box, drifting the ball to the near touchline. Chilwell down, onto Kovacic centrally. Fernandez round the corner, challenged by Fabinho. Referee said no foul again. And the ball comes up towards the halfway line, and Liverpool look to build. Now they come out to the left. Fofana trying to keep pace with Darwin Núñez. Difficult thing to do. Núñez has gone past him. Fofana's got something on the ball, just about. Looked like a foul to me. It goes out for a corner.
Yeah, I'm not sure it really matters in the area of the pitch it is, whether it's a foul and a free kick or a corner, to be honest. But
it is a corner over on that far side. I think it's Liverpool's first corner of the game. And Kostas Tsimikas, who's already got a number of assists so far this season, is going over to take it. 6 assists this season. Kostas Tsimikas doesn't play that often. He creates a lot of goals. Never scored one for Liverpool.
I'll be interested to see Liverpool's stats this year. I mean, when they're in their pomp, their counter-attack from turning the ball over in their final third to score goals is exceptional. I'm not seeing that a great deal. I'm seeing them give the ball a great deal at the moment, I'm afraid.
That was a dreadful corner, wasn't it? I mean, what on earth was he trying to do with that? It comes into the near post. Did he miss-hit it?
Well, it looked like it.
And it's cleared away. And that has been well defended by Chelsea. 0-0 the score. One back by Jota, though, and he's got past James, tried to set up Firmino, cleared away by Koulibaly. Chelsea got away with a foul, which looked like one on Diogo Jota from Enzo Fernandez. The referee has allowed play on. Here is Jordan Henderson. Played out towards the left and Konate. Konate collecting the ball and playing it to Curtis Jones. Jones into Jota. Jota trying to turn, running at the Chelsea defence. Plays it into Darwin Núñez round the corner for Joe Gomez, who tucks it infield. It's very congested right on the edge of the penalty area. Could throw a blanket over about 7 or 8 players right inside the D. Eventually they spread it wide, Liverpool, and find Henderson. Into the box he goes. Firmino into Henderson. Koulibaly had to be very careful, and he managed to just steer it out into the path of Ben Chilwell. And then it's cleared off Fabinho and out on this near side. Now, I don't have last season's statistics for you, but I can tell you that Liverpool have produced the most fast breaks, 29, and shots from fast breaks in the Premier League this season, 25. But they've scored just 5 goals from fast breaks, which is 2 fewer than the leaders in that department, Manchester United.
Well, I think United have been exceptional at counter-attack this year. So, I mean, 5 goals on that amount for Liverpool's not shabby in itself.
But I think last season, like you were saying, if you compared the statistics, they would be a lot higher from that. They've given the ball away again, Liverpool, and Reece James then couldn't get it under control to get a Chelsea fast break on. 44 on the clock, 0-0. Conte engaged by Fabinho, plays it infield to Havertz. Havertz then tried to backfield, which was a bit difficult. Comes to James, who low cross into the box is missed by João Felix, and then steered away by Joe Gomez. I mean, that was a good ball in from Reece James. They've thrown it in Chelsea by Chilwell to Kovacic. Kovacic flips it up towards João Felix, who tries to get across Matip. Didn't get there, half cleared by the former Cameroon international. Up it goes to halfway. There's a bit of a half-hearted challenge from João Felix, and then there was a little bit more of a full-blooded challenge from Cucurella. He's got away with that. Somehow Chelsea have got the ball. I don't know if it's a throw-in or a free kick. Either way, it doesn't matter. But Chelsea have it.
Yeah, incredible. I'm watching Cucurella. He chases the ball like Adrian's dog with a proper ball. You throw him over the park, he'll chase it, and it just follows everywhere. There's no jockeying or anything. He just goes after what he sees. He's had a tough period, I think. Here's Núñez from distance, shooting, stopped by Kepa Arriba-Balaga. From 30 yards out that shot came in. It was pretty tame, but I think it was Liverpool's first shot on target in the game. Cleared away by Chelsea. They wanted to get it moving quickly, but didn't. Again, there is an option here to get the ball up quickly through the middle of the park, where Chelsea have got numbers on the halfway line, and Liverpool look a little bit stretched out. I think it's on all the time, to be fair. It's a case of handing the ball over to the opposition at times to create havoc, and they'll give you the ball back.
Well, we've played 45 minutes, and we've got 3 minutes of added time at the end of that 45 minutes. It's been a very interesting start to the game. The first half has been hotly contested, but the quality levels have not really been there. There's a massive drop-off from these two teams last season. They really have not looked as good as they did points last campaign. Jota is now been released into the penalty area by Curtis Jones. Cucurella has come across, and before he can get the shot away, it's tucked behind the way for a corner right at the end of the first half.
Yeah, another situation. If you're picking holes in the Chelsea back line, they're really flat, and it enabled Jota to make a clear run through the back line. And then when Jota gets beyond Chelsea's back line, he can shoot. He decides to pull it back on his right foot and gets caught.
Just to identify the drop-off, between them these two sides are combined 42 points worse off at this stage of the season than they were last. They've scored 51 goals fewer and won 14 games fewer than last season. Here's the corner by Tsimikas, a better one. It comes all the way through the penalty area to Fabinho, whose strike hits Fofana, who slid in to block it at a 45-degree angle from the edge of the box, and it's out and away for a throw-in level with the edge of the penalty area.
Yeah, good solid defending there by Fofana. Made up a lot of ground to get there and get close for the block.
Joe Gomez with a throw for Liverpool. Right at the end of the first half, we've played nearly a minute and a half of the 3 that are added at the end of the first 45. It's still 0-0 between... Oh dear, that's a short ball back towards his own goal, and Alisson's had to come racing out, and then Conte knows that Alisson is out of his goal, but the ball forward to Havertz is not going to do anything because Havertz was in an offside position, and Conte, even if he'd got there to the German, could not utilise the ball. But that was a dicey moment, a back pass which was short, and Alisson tried to mop up, then he was out of position, there was chaos. Here's Joe Gomez shooting from distance, and it's pushed over the top and round by Kepa Arrizabalaga. And Joe Gomez hasn't scored in 200 senior appearances, but that was close.
Certainly was. As I say, it looked as though he was going to go and take Chilwell on. He decided to push it to his right and just unload one.
It's the first real effort that Kepa has had to make a significant save from. He did have to make a tidy save from Nunez. It wasn't one that stretched him, but that one was a little bit more requiring of his agility. Here's the corner from the near side now in front of the Matthew Harding stand away on our right. Liverpool maybe just finishing the half a little bit stronger than Chelsea. 0-0 the score on Talksport. Referee's just sorting out a bit of pushing and shoving inside the box. Left-footed corner is in towards the near post. Jota doesn't get on the top of it, but Fabinho does. He strikes it, and somehow it goes wide of the goal. I think it was Wesley Fofana who got a touch in front of the goalkeeper to steer it round the post, but somehow Chelsea's goal led a charmed life. It was almost as if there was a force field around it.
Well, I think it was Fofana. I think he's got his head to it, and he's done, 2 blocks instantaneously. Fantastic, good defending.
0-0 the score, only just. Here's Tsimikas in towards the near post this time. Up goes Firmino, drops for Jota. It's loose inside the area, and Chelsea clear it through Enzo Fernandez up to the halfway line. And that is the last action of what has been an entertaining first 45 minutes. I mean, there's been a lack of quality that has certainly been evident, and so many chances missed by Chelsea, but a couple of big chances towards the end for Liverpool to get on the score sheet as well. Look, Graham Potter's team struggled in front of goal, and we haven't seen Chelsea show any difference in front of goal tonight. No surprise really, because the last 3 between these two have ended 0-0, and it's all square at the break. Chelsea 0, Liverpool 0.
Elsewhere tonight, live on the Talksport app, Bournemouth 0, Brighton 1. Live on the Talksport app, Leicester 1, Villa 1. Live on Talksport 2, Leeds were 1 down, but they now lead Nottingham Forest by 2-1. Here at Stamford Bridge, the players make their way off the pitch. I think Stuart Pearce, it's been a fun first half, but we can see why these two teams are not challenging in and around the top 4. There's flaws in both sides, clearly.
I think it's been a fun game for you and I. As for the two managers, I'm not so sure. Certainly Chelsea will be the happier. They've created the better chances, but they'll be frustrated they've missed the chances, more so than probably tucking them away. And both teams look as though it's going to be a mistake that's going to gift the game to the opposition rather than a great piece of skill.
Early on, Chelsea had a lot of chances. Was that about Chelsea being creative and being really good, or was it about the changes at the back for Liverpool?
I don't think it was the changes. It was a combination of both, without a doubt. Chelsea combined quite well, but they were given a lot of space. Every time the ball seemed to turn over, it was either a 3v2 overload or a 2v2, and you thought, where's all this space come from in the Liverpool backline to run at the opposition? And to be fair, Jurgen will be pleased to get them in the dressing room with a nil next to their name.
Having said that, Liverpool, right at the very end of the half, came on strong. I mean, Fofana, I thought it was a miracle. Looked like a miracle goal line clearance from him. That's brilliant. Joe Gomez with an excellent shot as well. Liverpool kind of grew into it right at the very end of the half, and that bodes well for them second half.
I think both teams have looked as though they can create something. It's probably I'd probably put that down to a little bit of the ineptitude of the defending from both teams, you know, their positional play, that type of thing.
Yeah. Listen, would you make any changes if you're either manager?
Yeah, I'd bring Salah on.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so
they were singing his name as he was warming up.
Yeah, I think he can create. He'll offer that running behind, and I think he'll cause a big problem.
Well, we'll see if any changes are made. By the way, rumours that Todd Bowley has called me and offered 50 million for Fifi, my Jack Russell. Not true.
Well, him one side and Cucurella the other. That will be a formidable backline.
It's Fifi, it's her.
Oh, sorry.
I said no chance. She's absolutely priceless. But if he doubled it, I'd think about it.
Yeah, I didn't know Cucurella's first name was Fifi. Well, you learn something new every day.
Just got to look at the hair, mate. That's the giveaway. Right, let's get the half-time odds with Ladbrokes.
Odds update on Talksport with Ladbrokes. Are you in? Let's go. Play at ladbrokes.com. 18+ begambleaware.org.
And delighted to welcome back Nicola McGeady to the show. Nicola, 0-0 at half-time. I've enjoyed it. There's been chances. So what are the half-time odds for this one?
Yeah, we did mention 0-0 at the beginning of the show because, as I said earlier, 3 meetings have ended on that scoreline. That 10-1 is long gone. For that scoreline to remain the same, it's 4-1 now. But hopefully we get a goal. There's not a lot between the sides, but as you said, Liverpool have come out a bit stronger towards the end with some big chances. Liverpool are 9-4, 6-4 the draw, and Chelsea remain favourites at 13-8. Both teams, it looks unlikely they're going to score, so that's priced at 9-5, and hopefully Salah comes on. He's 6-1 to score first. As for the other game, Brighton, they are red hot favourites right now at 1-4, with Bournemouth as big as 14-1, and the draw is 17-4.
So this is on Talksport. Chelsea 0 Leeds. Chelsea 0 Liverpool 0. On Talksport 2, it's Leeds 2, Forest 1. Leicester 1 apiece with Villa on the Talksport app. Also on the app, Bournemouth 0, Brighton 1. What are the odds for them as their second halves? They're getting underway right now, actually.
Yeah, well, Leicester 21-10, Villa are priced at 9-4, and well, for it to remain a draw, that's priced at 5-4. Underway, Leeds Nottingham Forest, a 2-1 scoreline there, but Leeds red hot favourites at 1-5. We make Nottingham Forest 18-1.
Nicola, thank you very much. In fact, those games around about 5 minutes into the second halves of those. That was a look at the latest odds with Ladbrokes. Play at ladbrokes.com. 18+, begambleaware.org.
Odds update on Talksport with Ladbrokes. Are you in? Let's go. Play at ladbrokes.com. 18+ begambleaware.org.
So on Talksport 2, Leeds 2, Forest 1. What about the game at the King Power Stadium? Talksport's Jeff Peters.
It's Leicester 1, Villa 1. We are 6 minutes into the second half. It was Villa who went ahead midway through that half. Ollie Watkins racing on to a through ball from Buendia. Just beat the offside trap and then guided beyond the keeper. His 100th Premier League appearance, his 8th goal in 10, scoring for the 6th successive away game. They were very much in control at that point. Leicester had earlier hit the post through a Harry Souttar free header, and then Harvey Barnes levelled things up 9 before the break. Inch perfect touches as the ball came long from fast down the left-hand channel, got behind Ashley Young and then swept it past Martinez, and he's into double figures for the season. He should put another ball in, Barnes, at the start of this second half. Vardy couldn't quite get there and get a touch, and it remains Leicester 1, Villa 1.
What about the game on the south coast of the Vitality? Talksport's Alex Crook.
It's Bournemouth 0, Brighton 1. 5 minutes into the second half. Still that audacious backheel goal from Evan Ferguson separates the two sides, but Brighton trying to hunt down a place in the top 4. Certainly not having it all their own way. Dominic Solanke, the Bournemouth striker, has just put a dangerous cross-come shot even right across the face of goal. They had chance after chance at the end of the first half. Jason Steele, who was this week told by Roberto De Zerbi he won't be playing in the FA Cup semi-final, he made a couple of really good saves to deny Solanke. And Jefferson Lerma has just seen a volley from the edge of the area, tipped over the bar by the Brighton goalkeeper. Bournemouth knocking on the door here. It's Bournemouth 0, Brighton 1.
Brighton leading as it stands. They'll be 4 points behind Spurs, who are in 4th. with 2 games in hand on Tottenham. They will be 4 points behind Man United, having played the same amount of games. United play tomorrow night live on Talksport at home to Brentford. Elsewhere, National League, Gateshead 2, Yeovil 0, 2 for Marcus Denanga, 4-4 for the February signing. A Gateshead win opens up an 8-point gap between the 4 in the relegation zone, which includes Yeovil and the rest above them. In the Scottish Championship, it's Wraith 1, bottom of the table, Hamilton 0. Scottish League 2, top of the table, Stirling 1, Elgin 0. In National League North, Farnsley Celtic 1, Brackley 1, Peterborough Sports 0, Scarborough Athletic 1, Southport 1, Banbury 0, and National League South, Chippenham 1, Farnborough 0, Taunton 1, Concord Rangers 0. Here at Stamford Bridge, it's been really good, really enjoyed it, but we still wait for goals. It's Chelsea 0, Liverpool 0, second half coming next live on Talksport.
Kick-off on Talksport with Ladbrokes. Are you in? Let's go. Play at ladbrokes.com. 18+ begambleaware.org.
And he's barrelled it straight through the midfield into the Village Hotel Pub and Grill fan zone, the home of big screen live football. A long volley over the stadium seats by the giant screens into the left-hand corner of the bar, past a winning lineup of ice-cold beers and a magnificent menu of mouth-watering footy food. Result: enjoy the perfect big match experience with food, drink and live football at a Village Hotel Pub and Grill fan zone at 33 UK locations. Find your nearest venue and win monthly prizes, including match tickets at villagehotels.com/fanzone. Get in. Conditions apply. 18+, always drink responsibly.
We've got it at Selco. Selco, it's where the trade goes.
At Selco Builders Warehouse, we've got real deals on a wide range of building products. In April, we've got 12mm V-Groove Vario laminate flooring for only £9.99 per square metre ex-VAT. And with free delivery, that's a real deal. Find more real deals online at selcobw.com.
We've got it at Selco. Selco, it's where the trade goes.
VAT charged at 20%. Free delivery within local delivery areas.
Rodri to De Bruyne, flicked onto Walker. Goal! No one saw that coming.
Or as we say in Japan, no warutaka wa tsume o kakusu. The smart hawk hides its talents. For a taste beyond expected, Asahi Super Dry, official beer partners of Manchester City. Enjoy responsibly. Visit drinkaware.co.uk.
For all the top Premier League analysis, listen to The Game, the Premier Football podcast from The Times. Every Monday and Thursday, join Hugh Woosencroft and a host of big-name guests for in-depth reaction and opinion on the latest action and the biggest issues in the world of football.
It's a massive goal!
Hear previews of all the upcoming matches and provocative and compelling opinions from some of the finest football writers from The Times and The Sunday Times.
Lovely bit of football!
Listen to The Game on the free Times Radio app or wherever you find your podcasts.
We all fantasize about our perfect home. Sipping a morning coffee out on the terrace. Good morning, Mr. Squirrel.
Morning.
The kids building a treehouse in the garden.
I'm living my perfect childhood.
But come on, this isn't real. Listen, if you're serious about making your fantasy a reality, find out what your home is worth instantly with a free online valuation estimate. Get real about moving. Get on the market. Most common time to obtain an online quote between 1st of June 2022 and 30th of September 2022 is under 3 minutes. Excludes Northern Ireland.
Bing bong. Attentions please. Attentions please. We got big new news. Just Eat now does grocery delivery. No problemo if you forgot the only thing you went in the shop to buy. Want ice cream for breakfast? Caught the cat licking the butter. So, don't cry over spilt milk. Get it delivered to your door from Just Eat instead. Grocery delivery. We got it.
Did somebody say Just Eat?
Only available from participating stores and selected locations. Products subject to availability. Service charge may apply. See justeat.co.uk for more details.
When you bet fair on racing, you get daily rewards. So any day can be a big deal. Like with our Racing Multiples offer. So if you like to dabble in doubles or flirt with lucky 15s, get extra places on horse racing any day this week. Daily rewards with Betfair.
Winner each way market only. Place part of each way bets settle at 1.5 odds. Selected UK and Ireland races. T's and C's apply. 18+. begambleaware.org.
Game day exclusive on Talksport with a Now Sports membership. Stream the Premier League live without a contract from $11.99. Search Now Sports. 18+. Stream via internet. Terms apply.
It's the ultimate heavy-hitting Premier League experience.
On the app, on DAB, on 1089 and 1053 medium wave, and on your smart speaker. Game day kickoff on Talksport.
It was these two who have a rivalry born out of frequency that met in 2 different cup finals. This season, the only silverware they're going to be lifting is the posh knives and forks at the end of season dinners. Played forward by James into Felix, who gallops forward. He runs at Matty. He goes past him easily and then comes back on his right foot. Doesn't manage to connect with it. It drops out of the sky and it just hits Havertz and bobbles behind. João Felix in the centre waiting. Kovacic is arriving. Goes round the goalkeeper. Can he finish? No, he can't. Chilwell getting in round the back. Down the left-hand side. Low ball in towards Havertz. Hits it against Alisson, who makes a big save. He's touched away from goal by Enzo Fernandez. Comes back to Reece James, who volleys it in from the edge of the 18-yard box, but the offside flag is up. Pushing and shoving inside the box. Left-footed corner is in towards the near post. Jota doesn't get on the top of it, but Fabinho does. He strikes it, and somehow it goes wide of the goal.
Yep, somehow there's not been a goal. 0-0 at half-time. Waiting for the players to come out for the second half. The ex-Spurs and ex-Chelsea player Gus Poyet's a guest on the breakfast show tomorrow morning. Laura and Ali with you from 6. If you need a bit of music on your radio, then it's worth sticking Virgin on. I'm a fan of the Graham Norton Weekend Show, 9:30 a.m. Saturday and Sunday. Chris Evans is normally on every weekday breakfast from 6:30. But this week, comedian Tom Allen is in for Chris Evans. And this morning, he just played a bit of Bryan Adams, then decided to run through the live football available on the Talksport network tonight. Nice of him to give us a plug. Cheers, Tom. It was hilarious. He and his co-host Sinead confessed they know little about football. So by the end of their plug for our coverage on the Talksport network, Tom Allen had created Talksport 3. Liverpool were top of the Premier League table, and Tom pondered whether Premier League players stayed at Premier Inn hotels. I don't think they do. The two of them were also saying how much they loved the reading of the classified results when they were kids, listening to the radio in their parents' car. Well, Tom and Sinead, Talksport is the only radio station that delivers the classified results every Saturday after 5 p.m. Results from the Premier League, EFL, National League, including North and South Divisions, WSL, Scotland, the Cymru Premier and the Irish Premiership. I know this because I actually read them out after 5 on a Saturday on Game Day Live. It is Talksport where the football never stops. Tomorrow night, Man United, Brentford on Talksport. It's West Ham, Newcastle on Talksport 2. Saturday lunchtime on Talksport, Man United against Everton. And Saturday, 3 p.m, it's Spurs, Brighton, live on Talksport 2. 4 championship games on Good Friday, including Millwall, Luton at lunchtime. If Luton don't win, then Burnley will be promoted Friday evening if they win at Middlesbrough. That's live and exclusive on Talksport. 4 championship games Easter Monday, and if Burnley don't get the job done on Good Friday, they'll have another chance at home to Sheffield United, live on Talksport Easter Monday evening. And it's Champions League next week. And at this quarter-final stage, Talksport will be in Manchester, Madrid, Munich and London, following Chelsea and Manchester City. This is your station for live football, so let's get back to the action here at Stamford Bridge, where it's Chelsea 0, Liverpool 0. Chelsea about to get us underway in the second 45. Here's your commentary team on Talksport, former England captain Stuart Pearce and Sam Matterface.
Well, there's a big rivalry between these two clubs, and sometimes from afar that's not understood. But think about this. In the first 94 years of Chelsea's existence, they played Liverpool 122 times. This is the 71st meeting in the last 23 years. It is the most played English fixture in the 21st century. League Cup finals, FA Cup finals, Champions League semis and quarter-finals, season-defining games in the Premier League, rancour between managers, taunts over slips and ghost goals, plastic flags and medal counts. But today it's been a rivalry defined by mistake after mistake after mistake in that first half. And someone's got to tidy those up. And Jordan Henderson immediately on the front foot for Liverpool, attacking the goal away to our right. Into the penalty area it goes for Jones, whose cross is cut out by Kepa Arrizabalaga. And Chelsea will be able to clear. Stuart Pearce is alongside us. What are you expecting for the second half?
Well, more of the same, really. Probably more defensive frailties from both teams. And personally, I think if a goal's coming, it's going to come from a mistake. And a good situation there. Jones' opportunity, broke into the box. Great opportunity just to lift one to Jota, who was screaming at him to just lift one to the far post, and he managed to find the goalkeeper's hands.
Well, all 5 meetings in all competitions since the start of last season have been drawn at full time. In fact, including 15-minute extra time halves, no goals have been scored in any of the last 13 halves of football between these two.
I think probably some of the other games probably was down to the fact that both teams were on the top of their game and it was good defending and cancelling each other out. This certainly has not been the case. There's been goal-scoring opportunities in abundance.
We'll go for the 2-11s in just a second. Good turn by João Felix, who plays the ball down towards Havertz, who stretches for the ball. Conte keeps it going. Kovacic is one-on-one with the goalkeeper. He shoots over the bar. Well, he was 8 yards from goal. He'd got played in behind the Liverpool defence. N'Golo Conte did terrifically to just prod the ball beyond the last defender into the path of the Croatian. He found himself in front of the goal, seeing the whites of the goalkeeper's eyes, and he fired over the top of the crossbar. He's missed two big chances at the start of the first half and the very start of the second.
Well, incredibly scrappy defending, and when he's gone through and just opened his body up, you're waiting for the ball to nestle in the far corner, and I'm not sure how he's got that so wrong. I really don't. We've not had the option of a replay, but I can't believe he's got that as wrong as he did.
Well, that's two big chances that he's missed in the game. It's still Chelsea 0, Liverpool 0. In fact, it's very 0-0 on Talksport. And I'll run through the two teams for you. Chelsea with Kepa in goal, Fofana, Koulibaly and Cucurella as the back three. James and Chilwell are the two wing-backs for Chelsea, with Enzo Fernandez, Conte and Kovacic in the middle of the park, with João Felix and Havertz up top. For Liverpool, so many changes prior to the start of the game from the Manchester City performance at the weekend. It's Alisson in goal, Gomez, Konate, Matip and Tsimikas, and then Henderson, Fabinho and Jones, Jota, Firmino and Nunez going forward. Here's James tussling with Nunez. Ball cleared by Koulibaly upfield towards the halfway line. Havertz is offside. Going to be a free kick to Liverpool away to our right. I can't believe that Mateo Kovacic has missed that chance after missing a similar one in the first half, where he went round Alisson and took too long over his execution. This time getting one-on-one with the goalkeeper and firing over the top of the crossbar from about 8 yards out. Can you give any credit to the goalkeeper for the speed with which he came off his line?
I don't think that had anything to do with the miss. That I wish I could. I wish I could say the goalie's done brilliantly there.
We're trying to mitigate for them, aren't we?
Well, I'm not. You are, but I'm not.
It's 0-0. But don't let us try and... but just because it's 0-0 doesn't mean it's not entertaining. It's certainly had its moments of entertainment, that's for sure. Even if some of the entertainment has come from the baffling moments of poor play. Here is Conte on the halfway line, and Liverpool are isolated again, and Havertz has breached the lines. He's in behind. He's one-on-one with the goalkeeper. He's missed it, but it's come back and hit him in the chest and bounced beyond Alisson. It's a fortunate goal for Chelsea, but they're finally in front. Kai Havertz, well, he may not have known much about it. Released through the middle of the two centre-backs. He went racing clear. He prodded the ball against Alisson. It came back off his chest and bundled into the net. And Chelsea finally had their lead. Chelsea 1, Liverpool 0. Kai Havertz.
Well, once again, comedy of errors. Konate stepped into midfield, got involved in something that he shouldn't have done, lost the ball, and from that moment on, it was the Cheddar Gorge in the middle of their back line that Havertz run into.
Hold on.
Oh no, please.
The ball touched the hand of Kai Havertz just beforehand. It wasn't his chest, it was his arm that it ricocheted back off. Even the VAR doesn't want a goal tonight. We haven't got a replay of it, but the producer in my ear is telling me that it definitely came off Alisson onto the arm of Havertz and then into the net.
Well, if ever there's going to be a game that's going to finish 0-0, it's got to be this one. Even when Havertz went through, he couldn't score first time out, and it had to come, we thought, off his chest. It happened to come off his hand. But Liverpool were wide open once again. Konate decided to step into midfield. If you do that, you cannot afford to lose possession.
Conte's picked the ball up right side for Chelsea, trying to create a chance. He goes past Konate, then tries to shoot the ball into the centre. Konate did well to block it. It's half cleared towards halfway. Firmino helps it on. and then it's collected by Jota. Jurgen Klopp said prior to the game that he made so many changes because he wanted fresh minds and fresh ideas. It's been much of the same so far from Liverpool, who are breaking now, forward to the edge of the penalty area. Nunez's ball in field was poor. He guides it back towards the edge of the 6, and it's steered away by Cucurella and out for a throw-in on this near side. Now the Liverpool fans, who are in the corner of the shed end away to our left-hand side, are on their feet and trying to draw their team towards them. But it's 0-0.
And if this finishing carries on, it'll stay 0-0. But it's a brilliant spectacle. I'm absolutely loving this game.
Away by Enzo Fernandez, out towards this near side, and it's out of play above Bruno Salter, who is the interim head coach of Chelsea. Wrote programme notes today saying that he felt very sad about Graham Potter losing his job. Didn't expect this opportunity to come his way, but he is going to take it on his shoulders. And, well, from what we understand, he's going to be in charge for at least the weekend, and maybe even for the first leg of the Real Madrid game, which, I've got to be honest, when you think about the amount of money that is invested in making sure the players are finely honed athletes, all the money that goes into their sleeping patterns, their nutrition, their travel, their accommodation, and into their wages, the fact that they haven't got someone primed and ready to go almost seems a little bit negligent, really, bearing in mind all they've got to play for is the Champions League, Stuart.
Yeah, and especially when there's been so much speculation about Graham Potter, you know, I'll be astounded if they haven't approached somebody and got someone in place. But only time will tell.
53 minutes on the clock, 0-0. This is Talksport. Remember, Dean Saunders and Jamie O'Hara will take your calls a little bit later on the Sports Bar. 03717 223344. Did you hear the Sports Bar last night? Were you out and about last night? You were tucked up in bed, were you?
No, I went out for a curry, actually.
Did you?
Yes, I did.
Oh. I was driving home with Adrian Durham. We don't live together. I was just dropping him off. Well, we could do. And we were listening to the Sports Bar on the way home. Jamie was absolutely furious. He was going for it last night. He was so upset about Tottenham's performance away at Everton. And Jason Cundy not on the Sports Bar tonight. He's here at Stamford Bridge, actually. I saw him earlier on, so you won't be able to taunt him for the lack of finishing that Chelsea have displayed tonight, but I'm sure that Jamie will save that up for another day. You'll be able to have your say on whatever you've seen tonight. If you're a Liverpool fan disappointed with the way your team have defended, or if you're wondering about the team selection, 03717 223344. I'll try and bring you some interviews during the Sports Bar straight after us here on Talksport. And remember, the games are continuing over on Talksport 2 and on the Talksport app, with Leeds United against Nottingham Forest, our feature game on Talksport 2. The app's also got Leicester against Aston Villa, which is 1-1, and Bournemouth against Brighton, which is 1-0 to the visitors. Brighton leading through Ferguson's goal. Leeds are 2-1 up, and there has been a red card in the game at the King Power. Jeff Peters.
It's Leicester 1, Villa 1. Leicester are down to 10 men. Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall has picked up 2 yellow cards in the space of 6 minutes. He's going off. Leicester down to 10. It's 1 apiece.
I actually saw him pick up a yellow card at the weekend, and I thought, oh, is he going to get himself sent off then? He didn't. He managed to compose himself, but he has been sent off this time around. Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall, and they're down to 10 men. Not what you need when you're fighting a relegation battle. I mean, it must be said, at this moment in time, it doesn't look great for Leicester City. It doesn't look great for Chelsea at the moment. They've given the ball away as well. Leicester City will be second bottom tonight, 26 points from 29 games if it stays like this. Here is João Felix running away to halfway. He's stumbling and stuttering, but he's tried to shoot the ball through to Havertz. And then there was a foul, which the referee spotted and pulled back for an advantage. They want a yellow card. It isn't forthcoming. And Anthony Taylor is getting a little bit of abuse from the Chelsea supporters, who believe that he should have taken more action on the perpetrator. And now it does look like there is going to be a yellow card, our first of the game. And is that Kostas Tsimikas who got that yellow card? Certainly a yellow card came thrashing out.
Yeah, I happen to think he was very good refereeing. He's trying to let it go when Felix was getting pulled and pushed. He let it go, and in the end, he's got his pass away, and it looked as though the Chelsea attack was fizzling out. And then Chilwell was sort of, I think the Liverpool back line had half stopped, and Chilwell got on it beyond them, and then the Chelsea fans get up in arms and they think he should have been play on. But
Yellow card definitely for Tsimikas. I thought it was good refereeing from Anthony Taylor, who had the option to play the advantage, saw it didn't materialise and pulled it back. Now Chelsea have the chance to create again because they have a free kick and it's about 10 yards short of the 18-yard box, a shade left of centre, and standing over it, Reece James and Ben Chilwell. There's a three-man Liverpool wall right on the cusp of the D. In mauve, standing about 2 yards off his line, Alisson directing his troops. Havertz is waiting for a delivery at the far post. He wants something to happen in his direction. Chilwell leaves it for James, who takes a couple of steps, shoots towards goal and misses the target. Well, they obviously decided that they needed to roll it forward for James to hit it. They did that, but he didn't get any accuracy with the shot.
I'm not sure that was a great setup at all, to be honest with you. By the time he's got the ball, he's being pressed. They've taken a touch, and it's just, just a really poor effort.
What are the benefits of doing that?
You get closer to the goal. You open the angle up and take the wall out of the equation. They're the two benefits. The downsides are you're going to get pressed by the opposition, and the distance he was out, I don't think it was ever on.
Foul on João Felix goes unpunished from Fabinho. Referee says play on. It's picked up by Firmino up into the centre. Jota tries to turn from Cucurella, stopped by Fofana and turned over by Chelsea. Conte's got it centre field. He's only got one player around him. João Felix got to get back to his feet. On to Havertz it goes. Felix is now back on his feet, but the ball is drifted out to the Portuguese, who's at the far post, chests it down, cuts it on his right foot, looks to try and get a shot away, does drag it towards the near post and misses the target by a yard from the edge of the penalty area. Well, he was furious about not getting a free kick after a collision with Fabinho. He then got back to his feet very quickly when he realised his team were on the attack.
It's probably the scourge of the modern day game, really. You know, he stayed on the floor an eternity waiting for the referee to feel sorry for him. It didn't happen, and by lying on the floor he actually got himself in a good attacking position.
Fascinating game. It is still 0-0. We're just approaching the hour mark. Cucurella has just gone wiring in on Jota, controlled it with his left arm, and the referee has allowed play on. I mean, you know, like when you slide in and take the ball off someone, imagine doing that, missing the ball, but getting it with your hand and then being able to get up and go and get it on the other side of the pitch.
Well, it was all down to the fact that he's last man and he's decided to go diving in on the floor.
Here goes Nunez down the left-hand side, taking on Fofana, moving into the penalty area. He cuts it on his right foot, Nunez, and then he just overhit that ball, allowed James to come and close him down, and Chelsea allowed to take it towards the near touchline.
Some of the defensive situations I've seen here, you know, Cucurella there, 10 yards inside his own half, going down and diving into a situation. If he gets pipped, he's in all kinds of trouble. It's only his probably hand that's got away with it. On that occasion, Fofana coming forward when the ball's being played in behind him. Wow.
Well, it's thought the Chelsea fans were pretty impatient with Graham Potter, but I think they were quite patient with him, really. They failed to score in 5 of the last 9 games here. I mean, Chelsea, when you look at their success over recent seasons, it's not the sort of home form that they're used to. They missed so many chances. That was in evidence on Saturday against Villa, but it's been the same story all season. Underperforming on XG, 8.2% shot conversion rate. It puts them in the bottom reaches of the league in terms of attacking prowess. I mean, it's been so poor. They've taken just 8 points from there of 13 games against top half teams. Only Nottingham Forest and Southampton are worse. Here's Nunez striking from the edge of the box after the ball was given to him cheaply, and he shoots straight down the foot of Kepa Arrizabalaga.
Once again, option being created by a Chelsea player, overcooking it in his own half.
Here is Conte up to João Felix, turning it round the corner. Chilwell almost got there, but it just wasn't angled right for him. He was coming in from the left side and looking to try and run down that channel, but it was just a bit behind the England international. Mo Salah warming up on the near touchline. It's back with Darwin Nunez on this near side for Liverpool, coming forward at 0-0. Jones challenged by James and then by Conte. Ball turned over. Havertz is wrestled to the floor by Konate, who decides, why not, let's just have a little bit of a scrap. That'll get things going. Yellow card for Jones, who's moaned about the fact that was a foul, which is quite odd, really, bearing in mind that Konate grabbed him round the waist, tried to take his shirt off, and then knelt down and pulled him to the floor.
Yeah, I, like you, didn't think it was a foul.
Let's go off to the Vitality Stadium, get the latest from Alex Crook.
Where it's still Bournemouth 0, Brighton 1, the home side trying their best to find all kinds of way not to put the ball in the back of the net. Dominic Solanke midway inside the penalty area should have at least hit the target. His effort already on the rise when it struck his own teammate Dongo Ouattara, ended up behind for a corner. Lovely moment a few seconds ago. David Brooks coming on as substitute for the host, his first home appearance since being diagnosed with Hodgkin lymphoma back in September 2021. Bournemouth 0, Brighton 1.
That's a great story, by the way. David Brooks back in the fold at Bournemouth and playing in the Premier League again after what he's been through. That is a really nice story down at the Vitality Stadium, and I know that the Bournemouth players and staff and Gary O'Neill have certainly done everything they can, and the hierarchy behind the scenes, the sporting director and the chief executive have done everything they can to help David Brooks in his recovery. And it's great to see him on a football pitch again. Here is Kovacic down the left-hand side for Chilwell. Chilwell in behind Joe Gomez. He's beaten him for pace. Was he challenged from behind by Gomez? Referee Taylor says no. No free kick. Goes out for a goal kick instead, away to our right-hand side.
Yeah, for me, not a free kick. I think he's just overrun it. He was at full flight there and just a little contact with Joe Gomez. He's tumbled to the ground.
Here come Liverpool. Ball sent up towards Firmino. In the centre of the D is Henderson. He stretches and prods it wide to the left. The back heel from Nunez comes to Kovacic, who was the overcooker that allowed Nunez to get his shot away earlier. He pushes it in between the two centre-backs. It's so aimless, it goes all the way through to Alisson rather easily from Konate, and it's cleared away by Liverpool. And it remains goalless. You're listening to Talksport. Elsewhere tonight, there's lots of other action in the Premier League and pivotal games as well, especially towards the bottom of the table. Bournemouth losing at home to Brighton 1-0. Leeds 2-1 up against Nottingham Forest. Leicester down to 10 men, 1-1 with Aston Villa, and 0-0 here. And remember, tomorrow morning, all the fallout on the breakfast show. That is available to you on Talksport. Now we've got Rangers legend Ali McCoy's on the show at 6 a.m, Gus Poyet on the show tomorrow morning. But if you fancy something different, then you can always listen to a bit of music and chat lifestyle with Chris Evans on the Virgin Radio Breakfast Show tomorrow from 6:30 a.m. You can listen on the Virgin Radio app or on DAB Digital Radio. Here's João Felix, midpoint of the Liverpool half, gets away from Konate, gets away from Matip, not quite. He came infield inside the D, tried to go to the left-hand side of the penalty area, but Matip was waiting with one of those long angled limbs to tuck it away from him. Jones slips, Cucurella nabs it back halfway, then decides, that was a bit of a rush of blood to the head. I've gone over the halfway line, I better turn that back. The Chelsea fans get irate, but they've kept the ball. Here's Havertz playing it out to the right side. Enzo Fernandez waiting in the centre. James takes it on this right touchline. Goes infield into Conte. Back to Enzo Fernandez again. Into Kovacic, who's under pressure from Jones. And it goes to Cucurella on the far side. He clips it down the touchline. Chilwell in behind. Tries to take on Gomez, who this time does get back at him. Tucks it behind. Did it come off Chilwell last? I think it might have done. It's a goal kick. Chelsea are going to make... no, it's Liverpool going to make a change. Off comes... Firmino, on comes Salah, on comes Robertson, and Robertson is taking the place of Tsimikas. A couple of big changes.
Yeah, I think this could be a game for Salah. His ability to run in behind, I think, will cause Chelsea a problem if Liverpool deliver correct ball to him. Little bit surprised the Robertson one. I don't really see the situation there, but Tsimikas being booked, maybe that's the sensibility there.
Yeah, maybe that was the reason. Robertson, who's got more assists than anybody else for Liverpool this season, captained Scotland in the 2 wins in the international break against Cyprus and Spain. The most assists of any defender in Premier League history, actually, Andy Robertson, which is a good stat to have. And Mo Salah, who was once briefly a Chelsea player, scored the opener against Manchester City. He put Liverpool 2-0 up here back in January last year, and that game finished 2-2. It was an absolute thriller. I don't think there's been any goals between them since then. Christian Pulisic scoring the last goal, and it was a leveller. It's over 6 hours now. In fact, it might be over 7 hours of football between these two without a goal. Here is Havertz down the right-hand side. Don't say it, I know what you're thinking. If it continues like this, it might be another 7 hours without one as well. Fofana wins it back on the halfway line. into Kovacic, chased by Fabinho. Kovacic just fell over, dropped on the ball and pulled the ball into his chest with his hands, and he's going to get booked as a result of that.
Yeah, and rightly so. He just... I'm astounded at players at times that pick the ball up and they turn backwards time and time again. I think it's a modern ailment of football at present. You know, people try harder to go backwards than they do actually go forwards, and he's injured himself now.
Yeah, and the last thing Chelsea need is another injury to midfield. They've just got N'Golo Kanté back, and they won't want to lose Mateo Kovacic. Actually, you know, he's very good at carrying the ball, Mateo Kovacic. He couldn't finish the chances that come his way tonight, but he's been very good for them on the ball. He drags them up the pitch, and he's useful in those scenarios, but he's getting treatment at the moment. So we'll whiz round our grounds in the Premier League up and down the country tonight. There's lots of action for our Talksport reporters. All the games are available on the Talksport app. Let's get an update from the game at the King Power Stadium. How are 10-man Leicester getting on against Aston Villa? Jeff Peters.
Well, they're holding on at one apiece here, but Villa having all the possession, having all the pressure. Watkins has been denied by Everson. Barnes' goal cancelled out, the early one from Watkins. Dewsbury Hall sent off. Leicester having to defend here as the ball comes in, and it's one apiece, 7 to go.
Conor Gallagher about to come on for Chelsea down in front of us. That's going to be Bruno's first ever substitution. I wonder if it's going to be for Mateo Kovacic. We'll find out after we've been to the Vitality Stadium. And got an update from Alex Crook.
9 minutes to go here. It's still Bournemouth 0, Brighton 1. Brighton seem to have got the cherries now exactly where they want them. They're dominating possession. Bournemouth struggling to create opportunities. One negative, though, for the visitors. Moises Caicedo, their influential midfielder, has just hobbled off with an ankle injury. It's still Bournemouth 0, Brighton 1.
Another goal in the National League. Gateshead 3, Yeovil 0. Big problems down at the bottom of the table. But Yeovil, they're in a relegation scrap, start trying desperately to stay in that division. They're losing away from home at Gateshead by 3-0. And Liverpool get us back underway again, and Robertson trying to get the better of James. He sends the ball in towards the near post, takes deflection off James. The offside flag was already up. It's going to be a free kick. It's not going to be a corner. The score's Chelsea 0, Liverpool 0 on Talksport with Now Sports. Don't forget, with Now Sports you can stream all the Sky Sports action like Chelsea versus Liverpool live right now for $11.99. No contract. Search Now Sports. 69 on the clock. What changes should Chelsea make? What difference will Conor Gallagher provide?
Well, what he's going to do is he's going to offer great energy, and I think what he also might do as well, get in the box and have opportunities to supplement the Felix and Havertz as well. So he might offer an extra body in the advanced area.
Well, Conor Gallagher, who played twice off the bench for England, he's a bit of a Duracell bunny. Only Kai Havertz has played more Premier League games for Chelsea this season than Conor Gallagher, and he is on to replace N'Golo Kanté. I mean, it's great to see N'Golo Kanté back and playing again, isn't it?
It certainly is. I think he's a wonderful footballer. You know, he's talented and low maintenance as well. You know, he just goes about his work fantastically well.
Apparently he's going to sign a new 2-year contract at Chelsea.
How old's he now, sir?
He is 32.
Well, that's hardly surprising then, is it?
Here is Jones down the right-hand side. Yeah, but I think his contract runs out in this summer, and there was an opportunity for him to move on a free. As a result of that, many people thought because of his injury issues they might not extend, but I think because of the way he is, and he is low maintenance, 2-year contract's a safe option, I think, for a world-class footballer.
Indeed.
Corner kick over on the far side for Liverpool, who have started to turn up the volume with their supporters behind the goal away to our left. We've got 20 minutes to go. Is there going to be a winner in this match? Is this game going to finish 0-0 like the other three, the last three between these two? Corner to be taken by Andrew Robertson over on the far side for Liverpool, who have had very few chances in the game. The best one coming just before half-time from a corner kick. Left-footed ball in towards the near post. It's headed away by Kai Havertz and then picked up over on the far side by Curtis Jones. Immediately Gallagher's up there engaging with Curtis Jones, and then it comes to Fabinho, who drifts the ball towards the far post. Cucurella collides with Matip. Cucurella goes down like a sack of spuds, wins a free kick, and that takes the pressure off Chelsea. 0-0.
Yeah, like to see that one again. I think Cucurella almost put himself out the game by running under the ball, but managed to draw the referee's attention to give a free kick.
Is that a nice way of saying that you think he might be over-egging the pudding?
I've no idea what his pudding is, but I think it was definitely egged.
It's currently Chelsea 0, Liverpool 0. For the latest odds, you can head to Ladbrokes. You can back Chelsea to win at 21-10. You can back Liverpool to win at 16-5. The draw is available at 19-20. It's all thanks to Ladbrokes. Play at ladbrokes.com, 18+, begambleaware.org. Koulibaly. Chelsea playing out from the back, giving the ball back to Kepa Arrizabalaga, who kicks the ball forward and gives it straight to Joel Matip. Intervention by Gallagher, couldn't get hold of it though, so it's scooted into the path of Fabinho, and now it's on the left side with Curtis Jones. Back into Robertson. Robertson comes forward onto the left-hand side. Jones takes it on now. He's within 10 yards of the Chelsea penalty area. Jota plays it infield. It's picked up by Henderson. Still Liverpool have possession. They come forward up to Salah. Salah controls it, takes it away from Cucurella, goes back towards the halfway line. We can go after the King Power. There's been a goal for Jeff Peters.
It's Leicester 1, Villa 2. Bertrand Traore's just come on as a substitute, and he's curled in an absolute beauty. First time hit, but Wilfred Ndidi's given the ball away just outside the box. What a finish. And the 10 men of Leicester are remaining rooted in the relegation zone. Leicester 1, Villa 2.
Not great. Leicester fans might want to call the sports bar. Jamie O'Hara and Dean Saunders are open for business. 03717223344. Offside against Havertz. That's the most obvious offside of the night so far. And a free kick to Liverpool deep inside their own territory. It's another example of making a change like Leicester. Brendan Rodgers has been under pressure for a very long time. Again, why haven't they got somebody ready to go and prime, ready for action to come in if they were going to make that change? It seems a bit strange, doesn't it?
Well, it certainly does. There's no doubt about that. The stakes are really high down there, but sometimes there's gut reactions. Fans play a big part in it as well.
Chilwell up towards João Felix, and now Fabinho has lashed out with his left arm, trying to push him away. And João Felix has got it full in the face. I don't think he meant to do it, Fabinho. He was just trying to get his body in front of João Felix, but he's been totting up a little bit, and the yellow card was always forthcoming.
Yeah, it looks as though it would be easier to take the ball there, as I say, run past the ball and just straight into the player, basically. Game's got a little bit scrappy the last few minutes, hasn't it?
Yes, it hasn't had the energy that it had in the first half, where there was lots of turnovers. I think may well have drained one or two's tanks. Here's Fofana going back towards Kepa Arrizabalaga, and Fabinho, the latest Liverpool players, are going there, but that's 4 yellow cards for Liverpool players now. Here is Kovacic trying to get away from Henderson. Play on, says the referee. Gallagher takes it on. Fabinho engages with him. It's picked up by Fofana. On to James. James then switches the play, sort of. Tried to play it to Chilwell on the opposite side of the pitch. In fact, it was João Felix on the opposite side of the pitch, but it was well behind him and goes straight out into the advertising boardings opposite us, and in front of the West Stand, which is packed. Apparently they've got a gig on there tonight after the game. You can go into the concourse if you've got a match ticket and go to some sort of gig underneath there.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
It eases the pressure on the underground station.
Yeah. I'm not entirely sure who's playing. I know if it was a punk band, you'd be over there and you'd be all over it, so I can rule out that category.
Well, in the stand we're playing, they've got the venue underneath,
yes,
haven't they?
Under the bridge. Yeah.
Which I've been to a few times.
Yeah, they occasionally have a band on down there too. Here is James playing the ball infield and out wide towards the far side, looking for Ben Chilwell. Chilwell finds Enzo Fernandez. Infield it goes to Koulibaly. In to Enzo Fernandez once again. Fernandez curls the ball out towards the right hand side. Now James takes it on. He gets into an advanced position, looking to cross. He goes short instead to Gallagher. Gallagher turns it back to James. There's space for Fofana, who's joined the attack. About 5 yards outside the penalty area. Scooped forward by João Felix. Taken down by Fofana. Away by Robertson. Out for a throwing down by the corner flag. Well, we're into the final 15 minutes of the game here. Still no breakthrough between Chelsea and Liverpool. This battle of mid-table mediocrity, desperately trying to find a way through, both these two teams, but whenever they've got into half-decent positions. They haven't had the finishing touch. Chelsea have had more opportunities than Liverpool, and they've wasted more opportunities than Liverpool.
I think where both teams are at this moment in time, form-wise, I would say...
Oh, headed away by Matip on the edge of the area, comes back to João Felix, and he's falling over as he hits it, leans back, it goes way over the top of the crossbar. No composure at all, and that's another wasted opportunity for Chelsea after being given the ball back right on the edge of their own penalty area. Alisson and Henderson are now having a proper tear-up, a proper row in the penalty area away to our right-hand side. Joel Matip is getting involved as well now. And Liverpool players losing their heads with one another.
As I say, it stemmed from Saturday. You could see the frustration there. And on this occasion, you're looking at, well, such a poor miss. And I was about to say to you, I lost my track there. Do you think both teams and both managers will be absolutely delighted with a 0-0? It won't be any good to them. You've got Mudryk coming on.
On comes Ben Chilwell and on comes Mudryk. I wonder if that's a change of formation for Chelsea as well, because Mudryk more of an attacking option. I wonder if that means a back four for Chelsea, with Cucurella going out to left back, Mudryk going out to play on the left-hand side of a more aggressive looking formation. £88 million. You're not convinced that he's going to produce £88 million worth of performances, are you?
I'm not sure. I thought he was outstanding. In fact, the game against Liverpool,
yes,
wasn't it, where he came on? I thought he was really good, and I thought, wow, this kid's exceptional. I haven't seen anything since, so I'm just hoping that he's not a puff of smoke, you know?
There has been a goal down at the Vitality Stadium. There's a penalty elsewhere, but let's get to the goal with Alex Crook first.
Game over here. Bournemouth 0, Brighton 2. This is absolutely dazzling from the youngster Julio Enciso. The ball fell into his feet by Pascal Gross, but the footwork to get the ball under control and side foot home from 6 yards out is simply majestic. Bournemouth 0, Brighton 2.
Well, how's your luck if you're Leicester City? 92 minutes on the clock. They get awarded a penalty. It goes to VAR. They're 2-1 down to Aston Villa. A chance maybe to rescue the situation. The VAR says no penalty. It remains Leicester City 1, Aston Villa 2. Brighton going to win down at the Vitality Stadium. Leeds United moments away from victory on Talksport 2. They lead by 2-1 against Nottingham Forest. Aston Villa 2-1 up away at Leicester City. Leicester City down to 10 men since the 70th minute. Liverpool making changes here. Gakpo coming on, Jones coming off, Milner coming on as well, and Darwin Núñez coming off. So more attacking players on the pitch now.
Well, I'm not sure that will break the deadlock. I really don't. So I think both managers, in some ways, will be happy taking a 0-0. For their league position and where they are, it's absolutely no good for them whatsoever. But Liverpool will be delighted to come away with a clean sheet. Chelsea will come away and think, well, if it wasn't for missed chances, we've been the best team tonight.
A little bit of confrontation between Ibrahima Konate and Reece James. The Jurgen Klopp comes out to the touchline, has a few words. We'll speak to both managers after the game and bring those to you in the sports bar. Ball switched out to the far side. Cucurella. Did Fabinho get a little bit lucky? Another little confrontation with João Felix. Did he get a little bit lucky that he didn't get a second booking? We might go back to that. Ball sent back to Alisson by Matip. Matip was 10 yards away from Alisson and he hit it with, let's just say, a bit of extra sauce on it.
It's those little things. He's given him two really firm back passes. If you're an outfield player, you think, oh, this is a tricky one, let alone a goalkeeper that's got his goal behind him and a forward pressing him.
Sitting high up in the director's box on the far side of the pitch here, watching on with one of his trusted lieutenants, Chris Jones, is the former Chelsea manager, Frank Lampard.
Well, he's obviously got Chelsea at his heart. Unless you're suggesting something else.
I just told you who's in attendance. That's all I'm doing.
Well, you're not going to go right round the ground and tell me everyone's name now, surely.
I saw that Eni Aluko was here as well, with Laura Woods watching on the far side.
I think Ali's come with them as well.
Yes, I think he has. Ball is on the halfway line with Cucurella. There was a handball by João Felix, and it's going to be a free kick deep inside the Liverpool half of the field. And just because I've said that Laura, Ali and Eni are here, I'm not suggesting for 1 minute they're going to form a management trio. Although it might be slightly more attacking if they did. Here is Jean Matip moving up towards the halfway line. Plays the ball out towards the right side, and it's played in to Mo Salah, who's being pushed by Cucurella. The ball is loose on the right side. It's collected now by Henderson. His ball into the boxes behind Jota, and Gallagher tidies up for Chelsea in the final 9 minutes of the game now. Here is Milner, edge of the area. Sattler back to goal, being chased by Kovacic. Kovacic got something on it, but not enough to steer it away. It goes back to Matip on the edge of the Chelsea box, wide to the right, miscontrol by Henderson. And it goes out of play over on the far side. Well, look, when it's going wrong for you, and an indication of it going wrong is Jordan Henderson miscontrolling like that. Let's go to Leicester full time. Jeff Peters.
Well, Villa have beaten Leicester 2-1, 5 wins in 6 for them. Bertrand Traore off the bench to score a brilliant winner. Ollie Watkins put them in front, cancelled out before the break by Harvey Barnes. Leicester played the last 20 with 10 men after Dewsbury Hall got 2 quick bookings. They couldn't hang on, and Ndidi's error allowed Traore to curl home. They were then given a penalty in stoppage time. VAR overruled. They stay second bottom. Leicester 1, Villa 2.
Bad night for the East Midlands clubs, because Nottingham Forest have been beaten away by Leeds United by 2-1. Harrison and Sinisterra in the first half after Mongala had put them in front, Nottingham Forest. Here's Mudryk at the other end trying to force Joe Gomez into an error. He puts it behind and away for a corner. So full time at Leeds, full time at Leicester. Still a good 8 minutes to go here, and a few extra minutes down at the Vitality Stadium. We'll get there as soon as it's full time, but Brighton are going to win that game. They're leading by 2-0. Here, Chelsea on the attack with 7 minutes to go. A corner in front of the Matthew Harding stand towards João Felix, hits Robertson, goes back out. They'll get another opportunity to do it. Big win for Leeds, that. 03717 722 3344 if you want to give Jamie and Dean Saunders a call. Nottingham Forest fans, what's this going to mean for Steve Cooper? Lots of rumours about his future. Give them a call and talk about it. Mudryk in towards the near post again. Another poor delivery, which is headed away by Robertson. And then Milner smuggles it out towards the far side. Gallagher wins it back for Chelsea. Good ball into Kovacic. Enzo Fernandez keeps things moving. Chelsea on the attack here. Time ticking away. Early in the first half, Chelsea had several good opportunities. Enzo Fernandez just about holds on to the ball. Gallagher steers it left onto Mudryk. Mudryk taking on Robertson, plays it into Kovacic. Kovacic into the centre, there's no one there for Chelsea. Gomez almost turns it into his own net, but he sends it into the air instead, and it's out on this near side. Fofana keeps it moving. He keeps it in by the corner flag. He tries to play it against Diogo Jota. He's got hold of it under pressure from Milner. He's still going. Jota did really well, so did Milner. Chelsea trying to win it back through Gallagher. It's helped away by Gomez. They're still deep in their own half, but now it's been released to Jota, and Koulibaly has to come across with a block tackle to stop the ball from breaking in Liverpool's favour. Off to Bournemouth, full time for Alex Crook.
It's finished Bournemouth 0, Brighton 2. Brighton's march towards the top 4 continues. Evan Ferguson opened the scoring on 27 minutes with a cheeky back heel into the corner. It took until deep into stoppage time at the end of the second half for super sub Julio Enciso after some great footwork to tuck home from close range his first Premier League goal. Brighton 4 points off the Champions League. Bournemouth 0, Brighton 2.
Yeah, Brighton 4 points off the Champions League, and with more in the tank to come, you feel they're playing very good football. They've got 2 games in hand on Tottenham Hotspur. They've got 46 points from 27. Manchester United 50 from 27 in 5th. Tottenham 50 from 29 in 4th. And then Newcastle 50 from 27 in 3rd position. Chelsea win a free kick just short of halfway. A change up top for Chelsea. Stuart Pearce. Raheem Sterling has come on for João Felix.
Yeah, a little change. It's probably worth doing. Good to see Sterling back on a football pitch, and his pace maybe could cause a problem.
Here's Cucurella looking to slide the ball forward. He gets up to the midpoint of the Liverpool half and then plays it left. I think some of the Chelsea fans want him to release that a little quicker. Fernandez then tries to switch the angle out towards the near side. Didn't manage to do it, but he was helped out by the energy of Havertz. James has picked it up. Now Havertz has got it. Sterling's in the centre waiting for the ball. James lifts it towards the far post. No one there tall enough to get on the end of that. Kovacic has to pick up the loose ball and steer it back towards the left, and Cucurella. 86 minutes on the clock at Stamford Bridge. It's Chelsea 0, Liverpool 0. Chelsea have had lots of chances in this game but not converted them. Liverpool defensively frail but are holding firm at the moment. Here's Havertz. Remember how bad Liverpool are on the road, and they've really struggled for points on the road this season. They're dropping more points as far as the race for the top 4 is concerned, especially with Brighton winning. That causes more problems for Liverpool. Aston Villa will be up to 7th tonight if it stays like this, and into a place in the Europa Conference League. Yes, they play 2 more games than most of those around them or above them, and 1 more of those below them, but that is a big achievement for Aston Villa. Here is Fofana on the near side. We'll welcome listeners to Talksport 2, and thank you very much for joining us at the conclusion of your match between Leeds and Nottingham Forest. Sterling in an offside position, breaking down the right. Here it's Chelsea 0, Liverpool 0, and Chelsea have had several chances to get themselves in front. They've had a goal disallowed for handball against Kai Havertz, and Liverpool have only had fleeting opportunities at the other end over a course of what has been a scrappy 87 minutes, Stuart Pearce.
Yeah, certainly, but I think if Liverpool can sustain a clean sheet here, I think Jurgen will say it's punctuated maybe that little run of defeat, especially with a tough game against Arsenal at the weekend.
Yeah, 1 win in 8 for Liverpool on the road in the Premier League. If they can't find a winner here in the next 2.5 minutes. Mudryk up to Sterling, touch to Gallagher. Havertz is breaking down the left. It's played behind him by Conor Gallagher. Havertz picks it up, sends it into the centre, away by Robertson, who did well. Fernandes trying to keep Chelsea on the front foot, tangles with Jota. Koulibaly steps in front of Gakpo, and then a free kick is given against Cody Gakpo, and Chelsea have the ball just inside opposition territory. It's been exhausting at times to watch, because there's been so much frustration, hasn't there, when players have got on the ball and you can see what they should do next and just haven't been able to do that. Is that a confidence thing?
Yeah, it is. It really is. Both teams not playing with the fluency that the individual parts probably should do. You know, the talent that is on the pitch, if you're talking about financial outlay for all of these players, is absolutely ludicrous. They're much better than probably they're showing at this moment in time, all of them, to be quite honest with you.
Fofana stealing in front of Gakpo, putting the ball out for a throw, which is quickly taken by Milner down this near side, smuggled out by Chelsea. It's going to be a Liverpool throw down in front of the dugouts. 88 minutes and 39 seconds on the clock. Brighton have already been winners tonight. Leeds winners are home to Nottingham Forest. It's a bad result for Steve Cooper and Nottingham Forest. Aston Villa have beaten Leicester, who were down to 10 men for 20 minutes of that game, by 2-1, and there was a late VAR overruled penalty for Leicester as well. Luck is certainly not going with them. Here is Havertz through the centre circle, just checked his run as Liverpool get back in shape. Gallagher out wide to Sterling. Sterling trying to come back in field. Gakpo stands in his way. It's all a little bit congested now as Liverpool try to see this through. Chelsea trying to force the issue and get the winner, but they didn't score here on Saturday, and they're not scoring again. Still no goals at Stamford Bridge. It's the most unentertaining place in the Premier League. Fewer goals scored in this stadium this season than in any other venue up and down the Premier League. Here is Kovacic, wide to Cucurella. Now Mudryk, can he come up with something? No, he's going to run into Fabinho, and it's going to be cleared away by Milner. Salah is on the march, he's not going to get there. Koulibaly is, it's back to Kepa Arrizabalaga.
Yeah, as I say, a better ball into Salah with a one-on-one with Koulibaly. You would fancy him, but never given a chance for that.
Kepa plays it short into Kovacic. Chelsea trying to play out from the back. They've beaten the press, and now they go through the middle of the park. They've got Kovacic on the ball. Enzo Fernandez wants it centre field. It's forward towards Gallagher, who's just right of the centre circle. Out wide it goes towards James, whose cross loops up into the air and goes into the arms of the goalkeeper, and there are 5 minutes of added time.
Well, we might need more than 5 to get a goal tonight, Samuel.
7 hours and 45 minutes now since the last goal was scored between these two.
For the talent that both have got on show, you would say that's impossible. If you turn around and said, were most of it was down to some brilliant defending, you would say, OK, yeah, I'll accept that. But
there has been one or two bits of really good defending tonight. Alisson's made a good save from Havertz, and Fofana a good block at the end of the first half.
And in between that,
there's a lot of missed opportunities.
Thank you.
Yes, I think these two probably need to go to finishing school. I think Chelsea definitely need to go to finishing school. Liverpool about to fail to score for the 8th time this season. It happened just once last season, and they played a hell of a lot of games. This season they just haven't really recovered from those exertions that took them to within minutes, seconds of winning all 4 trophies. Here's Enzo Fernandez for Chelsea, up to Gallagher, back to Reece James, who curls it round the corner for Raheem Sterling, but he curled it out of the pitch first.
I'm just hoping Adrian doesn't ask me for a man of the match. I might have to delegate tonight.
Referee's had a good game?
Very good game.
Anthony Taylor may be the first official to get the award this season. Konate to the left and Robertson into Milner. Milner just trying to push it down the touchline. Into Jota it goes. Robertson has gone on through the middle. Gakpo takes it past Kovacic, steered away by Fofana into Fabinho, and then it's out on the far side. A little push by Gomez allows some space for Salah around the corner for Henderson into the box, away by Fofana, who read that and cleared for Chelsea. We're into the 3rd minute of 5 added at the end of the second half, and Liverpool avoiding defeat means they've stopped a run of 3 straight defeats. They haven't lost 4 in a row since Brendan Rodgers was in charge of the club. It's never happened under Klopp. Could have done if that Kai Havertz goal hadn't have been ruled out. Fernandez up to Sterling, pushed in the back by Konate. It's going to be a free kick for Chelsea, just short of the halfway line, with mere seconds remaining now. 2 minutes and 10 seconds left. Enzo Fernandez has had the most touches, the most successful passes, the most passes received from a back line, and the second most possessions won in the game. He's covered the 3rd most distance in the game as well. And he has seen a lot of action in the middle of the park without really creating enough going forward. And anything that Chelsea have created, they've missed anyway. Here's Salah on the edge of the area, trying to turn under pressure. Plays it wide for Henderson, who hits it against his own teammate. I think there might have been a handball there. It was an offside from... No, it was a offside from Gomez, who was coming back from an offside position. It hit him in the chest.
The gentleman next to me, Mr. Durham, was actually belly laughing then with that incident.
Do you know what? If you can't create perfect, wonderful Pep Guardiola football, you might as well entertain the public. And they've done that tonight.
Yeah.
You know, maybe not intentionally, but they've done it.
I think we've been entertained. I think there'll be
a bit of fun, haven't we?
When there's vested interest supporter-wise from both teams, I think both will come away very, very frustrated.
Yeah, I think you might be right there. But the score is 0-0 on Talksport with Car Finance 24/7. Search Car Finance 24/7 today. Here is Mudryk. Is there a late twist in the towel? Fernandez shoots, right-footed, down the middle of the goal, and only narrowly over the top of the crossbar. Well, by this game's standards, that was very close.
Yeah, it was. As I say, got good power on his strike, but I think Alisson, by his body language, looked as though he was more than comfortable with it as on target.
I think that's probably it, isn't it? We've nearly played the 5 minutes of added time, and these two teams are going to play out a 4th successive 0-0 draw. 2 cup finals, a game at Anfield earlier in the season, and now here at Stamford Bridge. Goals few and far between, and the Chelsea fans starting to exit down the gangways now. And there is the full-time whistle from Anthony Taylor. More points dropped in the top 4 quest for Liverpool, but in truth this is probably about right for 2 teams that have fallen way below expectations this season. 2 teams battling for mid-table mediocrity, muddling their way through to the end of the season in the hopes of a rebuild and a reset. Not much for either to get too excited about, but Chelsea had most of the chances and really should have got over the line. nothing was going to change too drastically from the weekend disappointment, even if Chelsea have changed the gaffer. But they haven't changed their abilities in front of goal. It was Chelsea 0, Liverpool 0.
And reports of a very bad smell in the SW6 area. I can confirm it is this game, certainly the second half, and the lack of goals yet again from Chelsea and Liverpool. Live on Talksport confirming that neither side is particularly impressive and they've got a lot of work to do. I think in the first few minutes of the first half, Stuart Pearce, there were chances galore for Chelsea, and we're thinking it's a matter of time before they score, but it kind of levelled out, flattened out, and in the end it was two bang average sides who fought out a goalless draw that won't live long in the memory.
Yeah, that was the case. Both teams suffering a lack of confidence. The odd opportunity created. Certainly Chelsea had more of that in the first half, and it was probably their ineptitude in front of goal that probably cost them tonight. I don't think a draw's helpful to both in their challenge, and Brighton winning tonight as well probably compounded that. Yeah,
Liverpool are now 3 points behind Brighton. The good news for Liverpool, they go above Brentford. The bad news for Liverpool, they're below Aston Villa. Isn't Unai Emery doing a brilliant job at Aston Villa, now into a Europa Conference League place? I will confirm what's happened down at the bottom as well. Villa won 2-1 at Leicester City tonight. Leicester second bottom, 2 points above Southampton. Bournemouth were beaten 2-0 at home by Brighton. Bournemouth into the bottom three. Forest lost but...